ready. I'm ready.
Here we are.
Okay.
We're ready and we're on and we're going to have a great time today. So, DAGDAGIEL, episode 25, I think. 25. It's a good number. It's a quarter of a century. Cheers to that. Wait a minute, I might not be allowed to do that on Twitch.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's blood left over from your Vampire the Masquerade last night.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
which is also might be a violation.
So,
Yeah, but they have to prove it's blood.
Right. Well, let's begin the proceedings. I'm Russell, I'm the DM, and I'm RKDM, in fact. Over there, you'll see Avery playing Feralt.
Hello.
Feralt's an artificer, and Avery can tell you a lot more about Feralt than I can, so I'm going to let him.
So yeah, pretty straightforward. Ferlt is an artificer, alchemist slash now war magic wizard multi-class, which might sound odd, but when you look at artificer's class, alchemist class feature of being able to create a potion with a spell slot, and then war magic, if you use the arcane deflection to raise your saves or raise your AC, you can't use spells on that turn. It's like, hey, I've got a couple of healing potions I made on my belt. I can't heal you with a spell, but here, drink this potion, or I drink the potion, or
Right.
it actually meshes better than you would expect.
So that's something about what Feralt can do.
Yes.
What about who is Feralt? Like, what
Okay,
are his
that's a
objectives?
fair question, but I just felt like adding that because that is a new development from last session, given that you had us level up.
No, that's true. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so Feralt is
What's
basically
what's his central drama?
Yeah. So basically, originally he's from the Banakaya, so he's a human, but he grew up around, a lot of dwarves. His parents were farmers. He would have. I'm now expanding his backstory. He would have been picked up by a wandering non-magical alchemist, because obviously, non-magical alchemy is still a thing.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's when he came to the attention of his master after a while, and his master basically was a researcher who trained him how to be an artificer and also gave him the fundamentals of wizardry while he was at it.
A certain number of books that were put into your hands, and you were instructed to read them, certain experiments and a few tools provided, and knowledge on how to make your own tools, importantly.
Yes. So it would have been a sort, I'm imagining sort of like a term of service with the main payment rather than being money would have been an education. So it's like Ferlt was dependent on his master.
Very much an apprentice.
Basically apprentice, but also research assistant, main servant, and general dog's body.
General dog's body, indeed. Okay. Okay, so where was he brought up? Was he brought up around DAGDAGIEL?
He was brought up, like I said, in the Banakaya ranges, but traveled with a wandering alchemist, and then his master would have been looking for somebody who was talented, had at least some fundamental knowledge of research procedures, and wasn't attached to any sort of nobility.
During
or
that
other
time,
faction.
you would have travelled through Sidarial to Larathion, the Elven lands, and met a number of elves too, and possibly been introduced to elven magic, but at the same time you would have known there was secrecy surrounding that regarding the way the present political climate is in Sidarial.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's... and this would have been before he started really particularly learning much about magic.
Right.
So he would have seen magic, thought, yes, this is something I would love to learn about, but that was before he actually had enough of the fundamentals to really understand what was going on.
Right, fair enough. Well, below we have Charlie playing Vespera. Tell us about Vespera. What can
Vespera
she do? What does she look like, and what's her central drama?
Okay. Vespera is a a wildfire druid that looks human, and she grew up as a human. But she has long, fiery red hair. She has copper eyes. They sort of glow in the darkness,
Mm-hmm.
and she has copper freckles. She's like tannish. Definitely nothing like me in that respect. Um, she often wears a lot of reds, kind of like the Barrel Color Wizards, but
But
less
different.
culty, and more fun and free.
More
Um,
druidy too, and probably
more
less
druidy.
expensive, I would guess.
Yeah. They tend to wear leather armor as well, with like fiery little emblems
Emblems, right?
all over the place.
Right. Okay.
Her central drama is uh so she needs to bring down the Barakala wizards so that she can find the missing members of her druid circle, well, of her branch anyway. And also there's a whole bunch of other things.
Right.
Um, yeah. So
Okay.
we're going
So
to
does she
form
have
a resistance.
does she have any personal inner conflict as a character? Like, what is she conflicted about in her personal life or about herself, if anything?
Oh, well, there is one side of her that's like, I need to get in there and I need to rescue them before anything happens to them. But the other part of her is a bit more wise and is very much like, wait, bide your time, gather your resources, take it slow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the player that's not missing tonight, Barry, unfortunately, is in hospital with, well, he can tell you that next week when he's back. I'm sure he
I
will.
gunk
He'll probably have bandages. So,
like a pirate.
like a pirate, probably. Oops, gave that away. So Barry hopefully will be back next week, playing Rokan, the Orcan Ranger, whom is quite central to the party too. So you're without one of your main DPS players this week, unfortunately. So that means
Luckily, we have Drazan.
pretty much means certain death for you guys. Really, I mean, I don't really see a way not to TPK you now. Yeah, pretty much you're
We'll
fucked.
figure it out.
You figure it
You
out.
know, you don't have to fight.
That's true. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight. And remember, especially if you're in the audience right now, you should remember this. This is very
Crying
important.
is free action.
Crying is a free action.
Yeah,
Crying
yeah.
is always a free action. That's true. And you can always use a bonus action to unmute yourself if you're muted and we're on Zoom. Anyway, so last we left our intrepid heroes, you guys had just been involved in a bit of a melee and a bit of a combat involving a huge tree and its roots and the gap underneath its roots. There were several groups of wyvern-clad guards looking for you in the forest, searching for you. You used some cunning illusion magic to hide yourselves among these roots, and that kept things on your side quite well, actually, for a great deal of that whole session. As you were able to make many a surprise attack from your hidden location and kept the guards somewhat confounded whilst you picked them off in various ways and means, by various ways and means. Finally, I believe it was Rokan, our non-present player, Barry, who took out the Barakyle envoy wizard that was coming down round the back of the tree after you took out the various wyvern-clad guards before. And he's the one, I think, that did a crit hit on the back of the head of the Barakyle wizard that was about to come and fuck you guys all up with another fireball.
Yes.
Good
So
try.
from what I remember, the wizard cast sleep on him, and
It failed.
Barry just pretended it failed, but Barry pretended that it worked, and the wizard was just like, "Oh, obviously that worked. I don't need to investigate that at all." And then Barry was just like,
overconfidence.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he just stood up and took him out in the back of the head. Bam, he were dead. So Barry not being here presents a small issue, which we shall quickly skirt. And I offer you as players this. I can run Barry's character as a remote ranger archer that stays off in a scouting location at all times.
I mean, it's not hard to play him. He eats everything and fires arrows. So
Well, no. That's not fair. Sometimes he hits things with axes as well.
that's true. I'm sorry.
He does. And by the sounds of it, after our dear players have rebalanced his character a little bit, sounds like
Also,
he
he hasn't leveled up.
more effective. He hasn't leveled up?
I don't believe I saw him leveled up when I tricked his character.
I thought if you were tampering with his character, then you would have.
I can't.
You can't. Well, I can probably.
No, we've looked at it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think we actually can. I don't think we have access to change his settings.
Oh well,
Yeah.
Give me one moment, please. This we can fix.
Gonna fix him up. Yeah.
Deactivate. Rokan, where are you, my friend? I have a huge list of characters in hospital.
Yeah, level 4.
Edit view. Why do they not have an option to reassign? Unassign.
I do not know.
Oh, maybe it's because he's one of my own characters in the thing. Well, optionally, we can quickly throw together a new character sheet under someone else's control, and add it to the campaign, and you can just copy his stats and rebuild the character, which wouldn't take very long. But I don't want to interrupt the stream for too long.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, let's just
Why don't we just keep Rokan how he is right now?
Yeah, we can worry about the specifics of his character sheet during the week, and if we have to fudge things, we fudge things.
Yep.
Perfect, as long as everybody's happy with that. Okay, so on that account then, Rokan will basically say to you something along the lines of he's going to take cover in the forest and watch you, follow you, circle you, scout around you, try to warn you if anything's approaching.
Yeah, because since I don't have Stolas at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
also, we really need a long rest.
Thusly, Rokan stalks off into the forest and you see him disappear.
All right. Come along, everyone. Shazan, Belt, let's go. And I start walking towards where I think the druids are.
Where the druids are?
Before that, I want to quickly have a look at the wizard.
Yep.
And basically, I just want to quickly have a look over, grab anything that looks useful.
Okay, so there's spell components, a spell book. There are 3 wands, a ring, a pouch.
Would he have the components required for summoning a familiar?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's
because we keep killing them off.
A strange little bag.
How
strange little bag. What shape is this? Is there? Can I tell the shape of the thing in the bag, Russell?
The shape of the thing in the bag?
Yes.
No. There doesn't appear to be anything in the bag from the outside.
Oh, okay, because I was going to wonder if it was another thing with a bag with an orb in it, like in the other campaign.
I say nothing.
Okay. Okay, so basically anything that looks useful,
all right,
I grab and I just name and put in the bag of holding.
Okay.
I also want to grab the mask. I want to investigate that as well later. Actually, you know what?
The mask has been cracked by Rokan's arrow that's gone through the back of his head and
I have mending
through the front. You're going to mend the mask? Very good.
I'm not going to do it right now, but I can.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to take the mask. And you know what? I am going to use one of my spell slots. I'm going to cast Detect Magic to make sure I'm not missing anything magical.
Well, the little bag is magical.
Okay.
The ring is magical.
Okay.
What else did I say you had?
So there was the spell book. There was
Right, obviously that's magical.
a pouch besides the bag. You said.
Yep. Yep. There's a pouch.
Is the pouch magical?
There is a vague emanation of magic coming from within the pouch.
Okay. And you also mentioned the 3 wands. Obviously, they're magical. Was there
Yes.
anything else?
Not that I can think of right now, but I'll get back to you if I do.
Okay. So basically, I would be doing it quickly. I'd just be going through like patting down his robes, feeling for any sort of bags, because I remember the other wizard we killed did have gems on it.
Right. Yeah. The pouch you haven't actually opened.
But it feels like gems?
Could have gems in it.
Okay.
I'd like to. Okay, so does Shazan look like he has a sword on him or any
Yes.
sort of armor or
He is
anything?
wearing his guard, the DAGDAGIEL City Home Guard officer's uniform with a set of semi-ceremonial plate armor that doesn't have plate armor stats, but it looks like plate armor, but it's more like splint.
Okay, right. I mean, who can afford plate armor?
Right.
I mean,
Shit.
I'd be tempted to like grab one of those guards and those guys in plate armor and just chuck it into the bag of holding, but I've still got that weird staff in there, and I don't want to put a corpse in the bag with it because I don't know what'll happen.
Yeah, and you've got like that reputation.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid putting any more corpses in my bag of holding. I'd rather not increase that number.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It'll be a
Um,
bag of corpses
Aiming
after a
for
while.
minimal corpses and bag of holding. Understood.
yeah, it's like this has been a corpse-free zone for however many sessions.
No corpses were reanimated in the making of this episode.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So yeah, I'd quickly have a look at the 2 knights to see if there was anything that looked useful on them, but otherwise, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, they have scrolls on them.
Okay, and remember, I should still have Detect Magic up.
Right. Well, they have magical scrolls on them.
Okay.
They have magical longswords too.
Okay, well, I'm going to grab the scrolls.
Their shields appear to be magical.
Okay. So 2 swords and 2 shields.
Yep.
And does Detect Magic pick up anything else?
Off the bat, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay, well, if you think of anything later, we can retcon it. But basically, I am also in a hurry. Like, I don't really want to be hanging around here too long.
Right. I mean, you grab stuff, throw it in the bag of holding, and then move.
Yeah, I'm just like grabbing anything that looks useful because, we just had.
Well, I think it's fair to say that you pick up a bunch of stuff, and in the flurry, the things I've told you were the things that you've noticed, but there were a couple of other things too, and we can cover those. As well.
And yeah, I also check, like, we're going to need money to fund this resistance, so I look to see it, like, if there's any obvious coin purses, but...
Right. Okay, so, well, the pouch that you found on the first wizard, that does have gems and coins in it in 2 separate compartments.
Okay.
There's also a wax stamp seal for stamping wax. And there's a small block of wax wrapped up in special tissue paper for doing such things.
Okay.
Other implements include a few candle holders and candles and things like that.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, I'm grabbing anything that looks useful just because, and I figure sort through it later.
Yeah.
Does the wax light up with Detect Magic at all?
No.
Okay.
No, it seems to be normal wax.
Okay.
I will say the wizard has a pendant that lights up magically.
Oh, a pendant? Okay.
Yeah.
I will also take the pendant.
Oh, and I can add that he has a... Do you remember the black orb that you found on a previous Barakyle wizard at some point?
In a different campaign,
In a different
yes.
campaign, right. Well, there's this large
Different campaign.
egg-sized orb. that you find on him. I believe in this campaign too, they found one in the tower. It might have been before your time in this campaign.
It was. I joined after the tower.
Right, it was in the
Is that
tower.
the one I
There was
threw? It is the one I threw.
You threw, right. You
Right,
threw
yeah.
it away, okay.
I was like, it's talking to me. Curse item.
Where did you throw it again?
In a chasm,
In a
never to
chasm.
be seen again because it's shattered.
Right, okay. Well, this is exactly like that one, and you may or may not notice that.
Oh, can I make a check?
You can make a perception check to see if you notice it.
We might as well, right?
Yeah.
21.
21, yeah, okay, you absolutely see it, and you're like, looks like
Can
the
I-
exact same orb.
Could I sneaky grab it before Feral gets a chance?
Well, I mean, I'd be holding it because I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's-
Okay,
what's this thing that's glowing? It's magically to me.
He can see it
It's a
glowing.
fireball. Okay, fair.
You're
That's
seeing
fair.
him find it.
Yeah. Feral,
But yeah.
you should throw that away. That's not good.
Why? What happened with it?
Well, we found one before and it started talking to me, and I got frightened and threw it into a chasm and it shattered into a million pieces. I would like to do
Right.
this again.
Well, there's not really any good chasms around here, so why don't I put it in the bag of holding for now? And when we find a good chasm, you can throw it in there. How does that sound?
Okay, it just seems
I
like
also don't want to leave it lying around.
your bag is going to be a bag of cursed items.
At least it's not a bag of corpses.
It's true.
That's
That's
fair.
true. Oh, right. Well, my family needs to be saved. So can we go, please?
Yes, I'm done. I'm done.
So in
Let's
the
go.
meantime, Drazan has put himself together a crutch to lean on under his arm, and so he's kind of hobbling along with you now. He says, "Well, I'm ready to move if you are."
Me too. Oh, come on, let's go,
Yep.
everyone. Is everyone
Who is everybody?
fully
at this
healed?
point? Everybody includes you two and Drazan, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geralt also wanted to take one of the horses.
Well, basically, it's like, can we...
You wanted to take Chad the horse, remember?
Chad, the horse.
Yeah.
Did we actually name the horse Chad, or
No,
is that
but
something that came up later?
It's clearly a Chad.
Okay. So basically,
I
yeah.
feel
So,
violated.
are the out of character? Are the war horses still around?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's take the war horses, because then it's like with the war horses, we have enough horses for everyone.
You will need to make
And-
at least one animal handling check to get a warhorse to play nicely enough to use it for anything.
Charlie, do you want to ride it? Do you want to ride Chad?
You should
That
have
was
chosen
your
a better
horse.
name, because now
Chad
the
was
difficulty
your
rating
horse.
for Chad is much higher than, say, Willie or
You wanted Chad.
I don't know.
You take Chad.
What about like Storm Rider or something cool? No, it had to be Chad. DC 20 for Chad.
I'm gonna name the other horse because this is already a theme. Let's go with Barbatos.
All right.
Well, those are exactly the same thing.
Exactly
Yep.
the same thing. All right. Well, who's making these DC whatever checks? You're going to make one for each horse, each player.
Well, we're both taking a horse, right? Is there only two?
Well,
There's the two horses, and then there's two war horses.
Okay, right.
I can make a check for Drazan, actually.
Yeah,
Because he
yeah.
he can probably maybe.
Chad would suit
he's a
him,
city
I think.
boy, Drazan, to be fair. But yeah, no, it's a natural 5 for Drazan. He's chasing this horse around, and he manages to get his foot in the stirrup, but the horse keeps moving, and he can't swing onto it, and he ends up dropping off, and the horse kind of walks about 5 feet away, turns around, and flicks its tail at him.
I will get one of the horses and try and calm it down.
And when you say try
Him or
and
her.
calm it down, mechanically,
just
you mean to
enough-
say you're going to make an animal handling check.
Yeah. So that he has enough time to hop on top of it.
All right.
We'll see how it goes.
Let's see how that goes.
12?
12. Well, the horse doesn't kick
Shoulda
him
guided
or
myself,
you,
shouldn't I?
so that's a
Okay.
start. The horse continues to watch you. Its big dark eyes just kind of follow you as you move around it, and it kind of prances for a moment back. It's a very proud horse. You can tell this horse is very used to being around people, and it knows who its owners were. And it's been highly trained. This is a very expensive horse.
I'm going to put out a good berry in my hand.
Okay.
Guide myself.
Okay. You can make another animal handling check with advantage this time.
Hey.
But remember, good berries are not the same as blood in vampire, and you can't blood bond a horse with good berries.
Oh, that's pretty poor. However, I did guide myself.
You guided yourself? Okay. So we've got a 10 so far. All right. And...
Dismal. Let's go.
With
hey,
guidance, 14. Okay. The horse snatches the good berry from your hand, almost taking your fingers with it for a moment. Munches it up, licks its mouth quite thoroughly.
How is that?
And then looks at you and champs.
Would you like another one?
One leg just... Leans
Would you like another?
Leans in a bit closer towards you. Can you make another animal handling check with advantage, please?
Guidance. The thunder, guide me.
Tasty
right.
druid fingers, says Isaac.
Pretty poor still, shit.
Oh my god.
Hey, 15.
15?
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, the horse takes another good berry, and it turns and it looks at you a little bit less meanly than it did before, and then it looks away and looks around at the corpses of its masters, and it turns around in a circle and looks back at you, and then it walks back up to you a little bit closer and lowers its head.
Aw. Going to pat it gently on the head.
Make one more animal handling check.
Okay. Guidance. Oh god, please work. Please work. Roll, come on.
Oh, we can't retcon the orb. We can reassign the DC check. You'll have to tell me what it is. It has to be reasonable. 20 is the max for
16. We're getting there.
For these guys. Did you... What, 16?
Yeah.
16, okay.
We're getting there.
He starts to kind of follow you a little bit. He starts putting his head over your shoulder now and sniffing at your hands. Sniffing at your clothes and bags, looking for more good berries.
Oh, you're after more good berry. All right, here you are. Go, eat up, eat what you like.
Right, and he does. You could probably ride this horse if you wanted to. You think so?
I will. I will ask Drazan to join me if he wants, or he can take one of the lesser horses.
Well, all of these horses are war horses. They're all basically the same.
Well, we did have two horses with us, though.
Oh.
Actually, Drazan would have had his own. Wouldn't Drazan have had his own horse as well?
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to approach one of the other war horses.
Okay.
I don't have any good berries, but I did say in the previous episode that I picked up supplies. So I would have like stuff that would travel well, like carrots and things. So I'm going to pull out a carrot out of my bag.
Okay.
And I'm going to approach the horse from the front, and I'm going to basically just slowly, and I'm going to hold the carrot in my hand, and I'm going to extend it out. But so that the horse has to come a little towards me if it wants it.
Right.
But I'm not like getting into its space.
Okay, so can you make an animal handling check, please?
Okay.
Now I would normally give you advantage because of your
That's an
trick.
18.
Oh.
It seems you don't need it. Advantage. The horse looks up at your carrot and then it looks back down at the reeds that it's been sort of trying to gain some sustenance from, sticking out of the marsh here. And it looks back at your carrot and it swings its head around and takes a couple of steps into the water, but bringing it close enough to where you are to snap the carrot out of your hand.
Okay.
And then,
I'm gonna give it get another carrot out of my bag and hold it up and like, you want another one?
crunch, crunch. The carrot's gone. Hold on a second. I just got to read the chat here. Lucky Charlie's a proud horse. Tamen on a natural. I can't keep up with all the chat and all the things going on at the same time.
It's just Isaac.
All right, you guys have to help me keep track of all the things.
Trying to.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice horse.
So
Nice
I'm
horse
going-
impression.
So you've gotten the horse to eat the carrot. That's
Yep.
good. All right.
So I've given it 2 carrots now, and I take my glove off and just hold my hand out.
All right.
Let it sniff my hand.
All right. It seems to be kind of making friends with you. I will get one more animal handling check.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration to give myself advantage.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's still a 7.
It sniffs somewhere. There must be blood spatter on you or something, because it sniffs you, and something about you and your aura presently puts it off, and it backs away a few steps.
Okay. So it seems to be not liking the smell.
Maybe the smell. Maybe it's maybe it remembered the moment that you slew its master.
I don't know if a horse would be smart enough to see who was using
I don't
magic
know either, but neither
let's
does
see.
Feralt.
So basically, I am going to use magical tinkering
Okay.
to make my I'm going to make my belt buckle smell like raspberries.
That's
What
right. My
could-
button smells like cinnamon.
What
Does it
could
still smell like that?
possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Nice.
What
I'm
could
going to make my belt buckle smell like raspberries,
like raspberries. Okay.
and I'm going to try just so it'll hopefully cover up any other smell,
All right.
and I'm going to see if I can just hold my hand out, see if I can try again.
All right. You can make another check with advantage.
That is a 19.
Okay. It seems that you have made friends with the horse at last, and he begins to respond to you as a, potential, possibly rider.
Okay. I give him another carrot.
You certainly managed to get hold of his reins at that range if you wish to.
Well, basically, I'm going to give him another carrot first before I try to grab at anything, and then I will slowly reach for the reins.
All right, cool. Well, as we discussed, you correct in that Drazan has his own horse, yes, and so he doesn't really have to master that horse. He can pretty much get on it and ride it. So that's fine.
Nice.
So he gets up on that horse, and he's got his crutch and his sword and his shield, and he sits there still kind of in pain and wounded from his previous injuries. But he looks about to you and he says, "Shall we? Where are we going?"
We're going this way,
Why
because
are
I
we
need to
going?
check on the druids.
You sure that that's a good idea?
It doesn't matter whether it's a good idea or not. It's my family,
I see.
and I'm going to start riding there.
Very well.
Oh, also, I wouldn't mind taking the other horses as well, because they belong to the druids. So
So we can just tie their reins onto the saddles of the ones we're riding.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So you begin to move forward through the forest. I will get you to make perception checks, please.
Nope. Very much nope.
I got an 18.
You got an 18. Okay. You hear something like a creature foraging over the next hill, like a large creature.
Do I see Rokan around?
Do you see Rokan around? You can make. What did you get for your perception check?
I got an 18.
An 18. An 18. Let's just give that a little scrolly. Yep. Do you see Rokan around? Not presently.
Okay. Because if I did see him, I would ask him to, scout ahead.
Right.
So I am going to get down from my horse. I'm just going to lead him over to Vespera. I'm going to ask her to watch him, and I am going to stealthily just like kind of crawl up to the top of the rise to see what's over the hill.
Right. Well, first of all, let's get an initiative check from you guys.
Okay.
Just
Can't
in case.
afford any more battles. Where?
That's an 8.
And a
Not
20 from
not
this guy.
2020.
Still. Okay, cool. And so you crawl forward up the hill towards where the sound is basically coming from.
Yeah, so it's like I walk up carefully, and then when I get close to the top, I can start crawling from there.
Lower your
Basically.
profile as you get
Yeah.
up to the edge amongst the shrubbery.
Yep.
So can I get a stealth check, please, with whatever advantages that you may have, if you do?
That's a 19.
Okay. All right, you get to
Are you the only one stealthing?
Well, you're back with the horses. I've moved up ahead quite a bit.
That's true. And we haven't had a long rest, so I can't do what I can do now. So,
yeah.
Dang.
I just need to check a fact. I'm checking facts. This fact doesn't seem to be available.
It's because it's not a fact.
Oh my god.
What is it?
Well, hold on a minute.
Okay.
I need to answer this question because it's burning a hole in my brain. It's very, very important. So this next scene, very important. Well, it only makes sense, of course. All right.
Good night, Isaac.
All right, you're off, Isaac. Well, thank you for coming and being with us and spending time. Have a lovely evening, and we shall miss you.
Night, Isaac.
So, Feralt, as you get to the top, you look through the trees and through the shrubbery and down into this little space there. It's kind of a little hollow.
Yep.
It's quite muddy, full of leaves and what have you. And there's this big brown furry creature with massive paws digging with its back to you right now. Next to it, can you make a perception check?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So a couple of things that you noticed, and greetings Vancouver by night. Thank you for dropping in. The first thing you notice is that it seems to have a number of eggs next to it that are just sitting there kind of randomly. And then you notice that it also has burns on it, and its fur is burned. And as it digs, it stops for a moment and starts sniffing. The thing is about the size of a large grizzly bear.
Okay. So, I can see it sniffing. So what does the creature actually look like? Can you give me
Well, it's got long fur, almost kind of brown, bluish, red fur streaks through it. It has massive claws on its 4 feet. It's got its back to you right now, so it's hard to say what the front looks like.
I'm kind of imagining Sully from Monsters Inc. now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's down on its haunches, so it's sitting down as it does this digging and foraging. It's like a.
It sounds so cute.
But it is.
Would I recognize what type of creature it is?
You can make a nature check.
Nature, okay. That is a 6, so I have no idea.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
That was with a +3.
It's about the size of a very big wolf, maybe a very very big, maybe like a dire wolf or something, or a bear.
Okay. Now the burns, do they look fresh?
Yes, they're smoldering.
Okay. So this creature's clearly injured.
And
so I'm going to.
As it digs, it makes a noise like.
Okay, and does it look like it's digging the eggs out of the space?
No, actually, it looks like it's digging a fresh burrow.
So
it's like it's moving the eggs from a fire zone.
From a fire zone. Okay.
Well,
I'm going to.
Maybe you have no reason to think of a fire zone. Maybe I'm putting words in your head.
Well, I mean, it's like that fire came from somewhere.
Right.
So I'm going to carefully go back down the hill.
All right.
And I'm just going to go to the others, describe what I've seen, and I'm going to suggest that we skirt around it.
But it's injured. What does it look like again? Sorry. Could you explain that to me, Geralt?
I guess you're asking for Alt, right?
Russ, can you help me out here?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a private chat in Zoom.
Okay.
All right.
Or, yep.
Let me just open up the private chat, and we'll make it just to Feralt.
I have my suspicions. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
Does that help at all?
It does help at all. Let me just pull up a picture so I can, kind of describe it a little better.
For yourself. I know it's actually quite hard, isn't it?
is it like feathery?
Yeah, a little bit.
/ berry?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Does it look like Stolas had sex with a bear?
Well, I can't see its face, but yes to the rest of it.
Look, I already knew what it was.
But does Vespera pass a nature check?
Wow.
14.
Well, we'll have a look, shall we?
DC 14.
14.
Did you roll a 14?
She rolled a 14.
10 plus 4.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Nice. All right.
To be fair, I've already seen one.
All right. So you've seen okay. So you know that there are owlbears in this region, and you've seen one or two as you've come down from the mountains, also because you came also from a similar direction as Feralt, actually, around the Banakaya, as opposed to from the Banakaya. But you would have come across these before, and his description sounds familiar.
I hop off my horse and I go and grab some berries. And
what is this, Vespera? What's going on now?
I'm just going to heal an owlbear.
You're going to what?
I won't heal an owlbear. It won't be too long. I try and make like a little like nest, a little bundle for the owlbear with some good berries in it.
How long are you going to spend on this?
Probably not too long. Maybe like a minute.
Well, if I see what she's doing, I'll try and help make the basket.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Feralt, you know that the owlbear's already just built a nest. That's what it's doing.
Yeah. It's like I basically tell her, I understand what you're doing. But I imagine it's quite territorial right now, and I don't think we should get too close.
I agree. And I tie it up into like a little sling, and I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna get somewhere where it can't see me. I'm gonna throw it to it. A little bundle.
So you're gonna stealth up the track to the top of the hill, to the gully, and you're gonna make a stealth check.
Oh, okay. Felt. Do you have the hand thing? The thing that you were stroking me as a cat with. Sorry, Jazan, that sounds a bit wrong. Could you take that to it?
I snap my fingers and a spectral hand just floating in the air appears.
Ah, it's beautiful. Could you please take this?
Okay, so how far away from us is the owlbear?
Well, if you can get to the crest of the hill with a stealth check again, then you will be about 35 feet from the owlbear.
Okay. I just say, I'll try and make it up there. I would appreciate if you could pray to Lathander for me.
I know what I need to do, and I touch Feralt and my heart, and I guide him.
You guide Feralt very well.
Okay. Right. So I am going to.
I'm trying not to be so preachy with it now.
So basically, so I'm just going to go pretty much exactly the way I went before because, I'm familiar with it now.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to try and stealth up there.
All right.
So that was a 14. I'm gonna roll guidance.
Yep.
So that is a 17 on the stealth.
Okay. So
Nice.
you you easily get to the top of there. The owlbear has not paid you a single bit of notice.
Yeah.
You almost feel like you could be standing out in the open and it wouldn't be paying you attention right now.
Yeah, but basically it's just like I am not gonna poke the owlbear. So basically I mage hand so I've had my mage hand going the whole time, so I'm not going to make any noise casting the spell.
Okay.
And basically I just take the basket, just slowly move it down, float it down, and then I dismiss the mage hand and go back down the hill.
Do you drop it or do you put it down gently?
I put it down gently.
And in relation to the owlbear's head from behind, do you put it down on its right or its left, behind it?
I would put it down not behind it because I feel like that would be provoke. It would be like it's got eggs. It would be provoked by something on it directly behind.
Right.
So I'm going to set it down to the side of it I'm going to actually, you know what? If I have the range, I would actually float it above it and put it down on the far side from me.
Okay. Yep, you can probably do that. Can I get you to make an animal handling check? It's not exactly an animal handling check, but that'll do.
That is 13.
13. Cool. All right. The owlbear stops what it's doing as it sees the package begin to lower down in front of it, and it snorts and it carefully starts pushing the eggs into the hole that it's dug and starts covering them up.
Yeah.
It pats them down for a good minute, and it still it stops and sort of turns its neck up to see what that thing is a couple of times, and then it begins to look around itself. Are you still stealthing?
I would be long gone at this point.
You're gone by now? Okay, cool.
Yeah, basically it's like I just not hanging around.
Okay.
Like, because I didn't really want to be there in the first place.
Right.
So basically, once the package was down, it hadn't come after me, I would have quietly gone back down the hill.
All right. So what is in the package, Vespera?
A
ring, some gems, some wands.
It's going to be like it'll be 9 good berries just to make it tidy for my inventory.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's a lot, but
that's fair. Okay, 9 good berries. All right.
Yes,
cool.
9 good berries.
And then Feralt returns back to where you are. Several good berries lighter.
So, did you do it?
I did it.
Thank you. Let's hope that the owlbear, sorry, eats it and heals itself.
What do you think gave it the wounds? You said it had fire damage.
It looked like burns, but it was hard to say. Just out of game, I couldn't gain any idea of, like, if the burns looked magical or anything, could I?
You can make a retrospective investigation check.
Ooh, I'm good at investigation. That is an 18.
18? They don't appear to be particularly magical burns in the sense that they...
Like, it didn't look like somebody was, like, flinging produce flames at it or something.
It's very hard to say.
Yeah.
It looks more as if she got caught up in a forest fire.
Okay.
From the scorch marks and things, or possibly a fireball.
Yeah. It's like, it looked scorched. Hard to say. It didn't look like it had been targeted directly, but like, it's possible that it might have been affected by some sort of air spell that affected a larger area.
One side of her body seems to be more scorched than the other, to be fair.
It did seem to be... I do feel like it might have been something that happened suddenly, so I can't rule out that it might not have been a spell such as Fireball, but it's hard to say.
Oh, poor thing. Anyway, we need to keep going.
Agreed. And we need to skirt around that. I don't want to get any closer to that creature than I already have.
Right.
For all of our sakes.
Hmm.
I have no desire to fight her.
Me neither.
Excellent.
So we keep going,
All right. Okay.
skirting around the owlbear.
So you continue through, and you begin to get closer to the area where you last saw the druids, and you, as you get closer, let's make perception checks.
Okay, perception. 10.
10.
That is a 16.
That's a 16.
Thanks for carrying me, Ferald.
Because you're the one who's supposed to be good at perception, not me. I've got like +1 to it.
Yeah, I should get Chad to be the one who's
Like, this is why I have
Deceptive.
Stolas, because I'm not good at perception checks. I'm not bad at them, I'm just not good at them.
Okay. So we got a what and a what? I heard a 16 was Feralt.
10.
10 and a.
I got a 16.
Okay. And Drazan can make a check.
The dice
Too.
just don't want me to succeed today.
So, Feralt, you can smell acrid smoke in the air as you get closer and closer to where the druid camp was, or is, or as you get closer, you begin to feel like that's where it was, as there are there's little sign of their encampment being intact. In fact, you see the frames of some of their tents standing, but the fabric seems to have been either removed or burned off in many places, or some of the structures have just been literally knocked over and down. There are tracks on the ground from wagon tracks, basically, and hoofs of heavy beasts of burden.
Now, I wouldn't have seen any creatures like that when I was in... Did I see any creatures like that when I was previously on the camp?
Creatures like what? The
beasts of burden like you're describing, and wagons like you're describing?
You would have seen them in DAGDAGIEL, moving through the city streets at times.
Yeah, but would I have seen them in the druids' camp specifically, because I was there the previous evening?
Can you make a survival check, because they do have wagons of their own and their own beasts of burden, so as to whether or not they are the same wagons and the same beasts
Natural
of burden.
20.
Alright, you are pretty sure from the dimensions of the wagons that these tracks are wagon tracks, heavier wagons, being pulled by more beasts of burden, coming in light and leaving heavy.
So basically, I just reiterate this to Vespera and Drazan, and I can tell what direction they went in then?
They seem to be returning in the direction of Vane Gate.
Vane Gate? That's a long way away.
DAGDAGIEL, not Vane Gate, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Vane Gate too much.
Okay.
Or not, as the case may be.
So I take it they took anyone that couldn't wild shape or couldn't fight them.
It seems they took whoever they could.
The trees here are burned back, by the way. The stream that runs through this encampment is full of ash, and you notice a couple of floating corpses further up.
I'll check them out.
Members of the druidic circle, family members, distant relatives.
Well, Vespera is just going to look incredibly sad.
I'm gonna try and comfort Vespera. Just, I'm gonna be awkward about it, but I'm gonna try at least.
Awkward as in you get a mage hand to just pat me on the shoulder.
No, I'm not going to mage hand pat you on the shoulder. I'm going to use my real hand. Thank you very much.
That might surprise her. She might freak out.
Basically, like,
No, it's fine. Thank you.
yeah, I'm not being stealthy at the moment.
Drazan is off his horse now, and he's hobbling around the encampment, looking around. He seems to be in some sort of investigative mode. After all, he is a city guard and has been in charge of, stopping crime in the past.
Yeah.
And he's looking about the place. He says, "Yes, you're right about these tracks. Do you think anyone got away, Feralt?"
I don't know. So can I just look around to see if I can see any footprints going off in a different direction?
Yeah,
Or any...
you can make a survival check to try and find footprints.
That is a 19.
All right. Yes, you do find some tracks heading off, but the bad news is that those tracks are also being followed.
Okay. So basically, I call out to Vespera that I found some tracks. Looks like they're being followed. Can I tell how old the tracks are?
This all would have probably been happening simultaneously to the
like,
that you were having.
No, I'm saying, like, can I tell how long ago that, like, I know it all happened simultaneously, but can I tell, like, how long, can I get an idea from the tracks how long ago the people left the camp?
Right.
Are they relatively fresh, or is it like been in several hours?
It's probably been an hour or two, maybe more than that.
Okay, so
it's in fact, I mean, it's taken you several hours to get here, so yeah.
Okay,
it would be several hours, maybe
okay.
even 5 or 6 hours. At this
So
point.
the pursuers, were they on horses or on foot?
Horses.
Okay.
In fact, Feralt, you could go so far as to say they looked like a similar unit to the units that you've been coming across in the forest.
Okay.
A couple of knights with a wizard.
Oh, lovely. So from what you're saying is it looks like a unit of three horses then?
At least, yeah. That are following that particular group. You can tell that there was more than just that, a number of people here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise...
But I'm just talking about these tracks going off specifically. So basically, I tell the others that this is what I believe has happened.
Do we follow
and I say
them?
that Vespera is going to hop on Chad and race off. She's determined to find them.
I just look at Drazan and say,
but
it appears
the
we are.
Tracks were over there. Where's she going?
It's like, so I just yell out to Vespera and just point in the other direction when she turns around.
All right.
Yep.
So it's just like, I am not looking forward to this fight, but you know what? Screw it. We gotta do what we gotta do.
All right. Okay, so Drazan jumps on his horse and follows with you. He leaps on acrobatically, not at all. He climbs on painfully and sits uncomfortably on his saddle as every bump goes past. He grits his teeth. And you continue on following the tracks. I will have another survival check.
Okay. That's a 14.
Should I also make one?
Sure, you can make a survival check. Either that or you can help him.
20.
20, okay, yeah.
We'll go with hers.
Go with hers.
So she's obviously more familiar with this forest than I am.
Right. I'm incredibly determined.
Right, and also,
that too.
I think at this point, you can recognize now the footprints of some of your... in fact, you recognize the prints of a fox that you are familiar with, I believe.
Why fox?
Yes.
Mozilla?
Oh, Mozilla. No. Mozilla, it can't have been Mozilla, because Mozilla is Gormal's little spirit, and the spirits don't need to walk.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. In any case, it's one of the druids you know
Gomal was taken.
that's turned into a
So,
fox.
mm,
And so you recognize the prints of several animals, perhaps that are wild-shaped druids that you are able to track them. It may be that
okay.
you have special signals and they've marked the trees and things to say this
Oh,
is
Well,
druidic.
yeah, druidic
in Druidic. There you go. Perfect.
somehow.
Um, okay, and so following these signs, you continue further on, um, and you get to this like area in the forest where there's like a wall that just goes up like 10 feet, and it's covered in moss and branches and trees sticking out of it. And it's just this jagged, or it's hard to say if it's natural or if it's like an ancient wall that's embedded in the forest. But the top of the wall seems to be level and goes back at a new plane, as if the whole ground had just been lifted up by 10 feet. At the base of that wall, I'll get you to make perception checks, actually.
I'll hop off of Chad. Hop off of Chad.
Off
Uh,
of Chad.
You've been riding Chad pretty hard, you know that?
Jesus, calm down. This is a serious game. A person just died.
That's right.
Perception check.
Yes.
Well, my perception was hindered by the fact that joke was amazing.
I didn't do much better because I was laughing at my own joke.
Okay. So you got a 9 and she got an 8.
What does Drazan get?
Drazan, not much better. He's at disadvantage, actually. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, he rolled a natural 20 in his second roll, but he rolled an 11 naturally, but he probably has +3 to his perception, so I'm going to give him a 14. He looks up and down the stretch around you where you are, and what you've noticed, Vespera, is that the druidic tracks continue up to the wall. However, the hoof tracks of the pursuers stop, circle around here for a minute as if they were trying to decide what to do, and then they split up in different directions. One of them approaches directly to the wall, one goes to the right, one goes to the left. And you can't see how far they've gone, but Drazan points in those directions. He says, I can see that's where they've travelled that way.
Oh. I will walk up to the wall.
Okay.
And just touch it.
All right. It's very mossy and it's dripping wet. You can see now in it, it's covered in ancient graffiti, possibly from other druidic circles from previous times, possibly from other peoples or even civilizations.
Is there like any indication that I should say a word? Should I just start? I'll just start reading the druidic aloud.
Okay. Well, the druidic at this point that has drawn you thus far is telling you basically that we're continuing to flee in this direction, and the direction that it's pointing is up and over the wall.
Oh, okay, right. We need to go up and over to find them.
Is this like a purely vertical wall or what?
Yes, as opposed to a horizontal wall.
I meant like on how steep an angle sort of thing.
It's a vertical wall. It's 90 degrees. That's 90 degrees, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But it is rough. Like if you were to go down the wall, it wiggles all the way, and it has little crenellations and bits in it that you might be able to climb.
Okay. But not with the horses.
But not with the horses.
And Drazan would probably have trouble as well.
Drazan would certainly have trouble, yes. I mean, if you had a rope and you hauled him up from the top, it's only 10 odd feet, you know. But that being said, impossible to get a horse up 10 feet like that. At
Yeah.
least here.
I mean, I do have a rope and a grappling hook, but yeah,
I might have an idea. Maybe.
well, I
Um,
mean, I'm going to just look at it and just say, I think the wizard used magic to get his horse up there.
is there like a stream in the area?
There is a stream a little way back from the wall, about 200 feet. There's like an opening and a clearing, and there's a stream and a big wide puddle. The water's moving very slowly through there. You can hear frogs making frog noises, that kind of thing. There's mushrooms in the undergrowth.
All right. Well, I hope I can do this. I am going to go up to the stream and use shaped water
Uh-huh.
to create a staircase.
A staircase.
Yep, I'm going to move it and I'm going to freeze the water when it gets to the wall.
Okay, so it's a couple of 100 feet from the wall, right?
Yep.
And you're
It's
gonna.
just gonna be like.
So, this is a concentration spell or cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
It's a
It's
cantrip.
instantaneous, so
How much water can you freeze at a time?
I can do 5 feet.
Like a 5-foot cube?
Yeah. I can move or otherwise change the flow of the water.
Can you see
I can form it into simple shapes and animate it. I could make it look like a walking person. I don't know. I can change the color. That's nice.
5-foot cube. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you make an Arcana check.
Okay.
To see whether or not you can make a 10-foot staircase from 5 feet of cubed water.
Okay, right.
I mean, it's kind of like an engineering question.
Yeah, because it's like up. Yeah. No, yeah. It'll be a very steep staircase.
Right.
Clearly.
Almost like a ship's ladder.
Sure. Like a ship's ladder.
A ship's ladder is like halfway between a ladder and a staircase.
Right.
Oh, it was cocked. What the
5.
hell? That's ridiculous.
Oh dear. Did you guide yourself or anything?
No.
You didn't. Okay.
No, because it's really. I don't think it makes sense to have done that.
Also, trying to move the ice from a pool that's 200 feet away, it's kind of dripping and melting all the way across. And by the time you get it there, it's sort of getting a bit weak to hold up.
Okay. Well, I tried.
You did.
Okay.
And I will give you inspiration for trying, because I thought it was
thank
a cool idea.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to mage hand my grappling hook up to the top of the wall,
Okay.
so I can climb up there and see if I can see anything.
All right. So you can make a Dex Athletics check, whatever it is, acrobatics rather.
Yeah, I'll do
Whichever one is best for you.
acrobatics. Since I've got a rope, do I get advantage?
Yes, I was about to say.
Okay. That is a 16.
16. Okie dokie. You climb up, no problem. It's not that high.
I will guide Drazan. Touch him.
All right. Ferrell, can you make a perception check?
That is a 12.
Okay. Everything seems to be calm and nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
Okay. Do I see any tracks around?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, Vespera, guided Drazan.
Yes. Guided Drazan.
He is unable to get up the rope. It's too much, Vespera. I don't have the strength for this. I can wait here. Watch your backs.
I don't think that's a good idea, Drazan.
I don't know about getting up there. Either that or you're both going to have to go up there and then haul me up. But how am I going to get back down? What about the horses? Surely there's another way up there. If we do travel along the wall, there must be some natural bridge or stairs or ramp or something.
Can I mage hand the grappling hook onto a tree branch and climb a tree to see if I can see anything from
You
a greater
can.
height?
You can make another athletics check with advantage, please.
Okay, I'm gonna do acrobatics,
Acrobatics. Yeah.
and that is a dirty 20.
All right. So climbing all the way up a very tall tree, the full length of your rope. What's that? 50 feet.
50 feet, yeah.
So 48 feet, something like that. You
Yeah.
get. And from there, you can make a perception check.
That is a 17.
Okay, well, a couple of things. The first thing you notice is that, yes, there is a kind of natural way up here, about half a mile down the wall.
Yep.
It's a bit of a, fuck around, but you can take that route and bring the horses if you wish.
Yep.
That will lead you onto an old path. You can see that it's a path, and it's even lined with little sections of wall in places that goes out into what appears to be the wastelands behind the forest.
Okay.
Heading up into the wastelands up there, you got a 17. Looking up that way, you think you can see birds circling in the distance.
Okay.
Can't tell what they are.
Yeah.
Too far. But the road itself goes up into the wastelands and into the hills, where there's a lot of, flash floods and muddy kind of surroundings up in that direction.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just like shimmy down the rope, retrieve it, back into the bag.
Okay.
Then I just go to the walk over to the edge. I point out in the direction where I saw the path and just say, I found a way that we can take the horses up. There's a bit of a pathway. I think we should hurry though.
All right. I will quickly mount Chad. And it's ridiculous every time. I'll keep an eye on Jazan as he gets on his horse. Hopefully he's not gonna get hurt or anything.
Okay.
And I'm sure Feralt's fine.
Jazan does take a few attempts to get onto the horse, but every time you go to help him, he's like, "No, I'm fine. I'll do it." And finally, after his 5th attempt, he gets onto the horse. That's better. All right, I think I'm set.
Excellent. Let's get going.
Keep an eye out, you lot. This could be an ambush. You know that, right?
But sometimes you have to do what you have to do, even if it's not the smartest thing.
Even if you haven't had a long rest. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But I gotta find my family, so let's go.
Can we hold for a moment, or let me talk as we walk? Just don't go too fast. I can't keep up with you. The rattling in my bones is too painful.
Would you like some more good berry? Is that going to help?
Vespera, we know that they've killed and taken your people. The Barakyle have murdered my children. If we die today, there's no vengeance.
So you just think we should go back and not worry about them? My family?
I didn't say that. What I am saying is that we should be careful. We should scout ahead. We should gather our forces. We should find their weaknesses and pinpoint them, and we should bring them down. But we can't make mistakes. Not only may we die if we make mistakes, but as you can see, our own people, our friends and families, our clans and companions, brothers at arms, are all in danger. They will take it out on whoever they can and whoever they find. It won't matter.
You're right.
We need to be more careful, I think. I don't object to us following this trail. And if we can help and free some, yes.
I nod
Onward then.
understandingly. Yes, we
Onward.
go onward. We
All
go
right.
at Drazan pace, so
Okay. So at
he doesn't fall
Drazan
apart.
pace, takes about 20 minutes to get to the corner, and you make your bend around this very wide S bend, basically, and start coming back the direction you were in, except now that you're on top of this thing. And that curves off onto this broken road that heads down into this gully, and looking around now, the trees are becoming a little bit more sparse, wider apart, and more of them seem to be broken and dead. You can see a pattern and a trail of burn marks and destruction, and in some places, parts of the forest seem to be still on fire. Fortunately, the climate here rains a lot, so that seems to be keeping it under control. But still, there's a lot of ash in the air.
Whenever I see some embers, even though it pains me, if I can like shape water to like extinguish them, I understand the necessity of keeping things.
The cycle of life.
Yeah,
Right.
There's a balance.
yeah.
There's a balance to be had. Okay, so you
Wash
continue
water
on
over.
like this, and you get to the point. I think, what was the time in our last session where we left it? I'm trying to remember whether this is the middle of the day or the late afternoon at this point, but I feel like you probably
It's
travel all through the
I think
day
it's the middle
anyway.
of the day, to
Yeah, I
be
think it's
fair,
probably middle of the day
or
to like
evening.
early afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
right. Early
Let's
afternoon.
just split the difference. Just say it's generally afternoon. We're not sure of
Afternoon.
the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that works for me. So the first sun is high in the sky, and the second sun is ahead of it this time, closer to the horizon. So you're getting these twin shadows cast and these mauve hues cast through the smoky forest that is thinning out now and becoming more and more a wasteland. You can see high chalk-like hills up ahead. Everything's very dusty. This dusty air, it becomes harder to breathe, and Drazan takes his cloak and wraps it around his face, his hood. Has a button on the side. So now he looks like a ninja knight.
A nightja.
A nightja.
I can't do that, but I'll just cover my
Yeah.
mouth.
I've got a bag of holding. I would have just like pulled a piece of cloth out and just like wrapped it around like a bandana.
Okay.
Tied it behind my head.
Fair enough. All right. I will have some perception checks, please.
Ooh, not great. 12.
19.
19.
The dice like me tonight for some reason.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know. Ask the dice gods.
The dice.
Okay, I will. Next time I see them.
Next time
I mean, you're a cleric.
Yeah, the dice god is my savior.
All right.
Love that.
Perception. What did you get? Faralt was a 17?
19. 19.
19. Bloody hell. Bloomin' heck. I see.
I know,
and a 12
right?
for Vespera.
Yeah.
Okay, Vespera, as you're looking around, as you come over the next hill and you're glancing about, and Feralt, of course, everything that applies to Vespera you also notice because you've got a 17.
Yeah.
You can see there's this pool of water, and there's like ashes, embers raining down from above to this pool of water, and sitting on the edge of the pool of water is this stone, and there's this human figure just in silhouette that you can see head down by the edge of the water in this kind of weird creepy pose. Feralt, you notice that the individual sitting there also has horns and long ears, almost like a dog's ears or a horse's ears, and strange bestial features.
Does this look like the creature that we accidentally summoned in the inn room that when we opened the spell book after I told them not to? That was a fiend, specifically.
It was like
this
Belial
is
or
probably a fiend. Feralt would probably know
Yeah.
that. As to the specifics of it, I can't remember what that was, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So
It does sound like a similar description, like because I remember at the time the description kind of reminded me of like a satyr.
yes, it is a lot like a satyr. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then it's the same type. So basically, I'm going to call out to the others.
Initiative check.
Yeah.
Please.
I got a 9.
5.
Does Drazan have any ranged weapons?
Drazan can fire a heavy crossbow every second round as he reloads it.
Does he have a heavy crossbow with him?
Yes, on his horse. It's a +2 to hit for him.
Oh wow, nice.
And it's not a +2 crossbow, it's just a +2 for him to hit with it.
Still.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to give him +4. That's more reasonable. First level characters have more than that.
Yep.
And it's a D10 damage when it
Yeah,
hits.
yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Who wants to run that attack every second round?
I'll do it.
Cool.
Okay.
Love your work.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So at this point, can you make stealth checks if you're being stealthy?
Try.
Okay.
Nice. 19.
Nice. All right.
Oh,
At this
15.
point, you do not believe that this creature has seen you.
Okay.
It seems to be dipping its hand in the water and slurping something from there. You realize that it's not just doing that. There's something in its hands that it's doing something with. Something wet and sloppy. Begins to rain very gently. You can feel a cool wind picking up the smoke and the ashes and embers.
It's like, so I turn to Vesper and just basically say, look, it doesn't seem to have seen us, but I get a bad feeling about what it's doing.
Should we encounter it then? Get ready?
All right, but remember, it appears to be like the one we encountered before. I think we should be careful. It might use magical darkness on us.
Right. Well, perhaps we should encounter it from 3 different locations.
It might be best. It might be best if we.
I can stay here and fire at it with the crossbow. I don't have to get any closer.
Yeah, you stay back where you are, Drazan. I believe I should take the lead. I'll leave my horse with you, though.
All right.
So I tie my horse's reins tie my horse's reins to his saddle. You know,
I'll do the same.
Get out my shield and my arcane focus, and basically, then I start heading off like towards it, but on an angle. So I'm kind of like angling away from the others.
Okay. Yep. I kind of get what you mean. I think.
I'm going to be putting my staff. I'm going to be leaving that with the horse.
Leaving your staff with the horse.
Yes.
All right, and with Drazan.
I don't know if I'm following Feralto or whatever, but it's probably best I do.
All right.
I don't have access to Theo anymore. I tell you that I can't until I rest. I can't bring Theo back.
Right. What I'm saying is, I've got my armor is stronger than yours. Let me get closer, and you stay back and just try and hit it from range.
We could back away and come back when we're stronger.
It's probably
I don't
a good
like
idea.
having this thing behind me, though.
And it might be too late.
I think this is something we need to deal with now.
All right. Go, go, go.
Well, actually, on that note, I haven't identified them, but I do know the shields in my bag are magical. Now imagine they're metal shields, so Vespera couldn't use them, and Drazan has a two-handed crossbow. But I take out one of the shields, magical shields from the bag.
Yep.
Strap it on, and I figure, even if it needs attunement, it can't hurt.
Right. All right. Well, it is a +1 shield.
Okay.
And I'm going to create a produce flame.
Okay.
All right.
So basically,
Keep it
yeah,
close.
so it's like,
Hide it.
All right.
Um,
As you approach stealthily, you can make stealthy stealth checks.
Bink, bink. Hey, 22.
Ooh.
Stealth is my jam. I'm a rogue. Let's go.
I got a 9, so
You got a 9. Okay. How close together are you two, seeing as you were
I
following
mean, I
him?
think I would have like, I told her to get away. I would have, moved away from her a bit.
Right. So are you 30 feet apart? Like, did you went and
I'd
then
I'd
she
say we'd be
went
at
to
least
follow
30
you?
feet
And
apart.
right. So should we say 30 or 40 or 50 feet? How far do you want to be
Let
apart?
let's say let's say about 40
Let's say
feet apart.
30. No, let's
30?
say 30
35.
just in case.
35.
You sure you don't want it to be 29 and a half feet?
It's
All
just
right,
in
is
case, you know?
29 and a half an option then?
Sure.
No,
Okay.
you can
Now we'll
only
go
I
move 30
31.
feet.
we'll go
30,
30,
30,
35.
30.
31's not a you can't do 31 in D&D.
So when somebody goes down and they're 35 feet away and you can only get to within 5 feet of them and you can't cast a touch spell or feed them a good berry,
Okay, okay,
we'll all
okay,
be good with
fine.
that.
30 feet, 30 feet,
Just
30 feet.
checking. I don't mind.
Okay, no, you're right, you're right, you're right. Fine.
Okay. Okay, so 30 feet apart. Now, as you're moving forward, Farrell, you rolled a 9 on your stealth check. So this creature,
Yeah.
which is sitting there with its sort of profile to you, it's now you can see the color of the stuff that it's playing with, and it's clearly fleshy, entraily type stuff, organs.
I had a feeling it
Yes.
was like that.
It drops everything it's doing.
Okay, now that it's noticed us, can I get an opportunity attack on it?
You can have a
Like, can I
surprise
make a
attack.
surprise attack?
Yeah, you can take a surprise attack.
Okay, surprise gives me advantage, right?
Yeah, now your range at this point, you are 60 feet away.
Yep, that's fine. So I'm going to firebolt it.
All right, roll to hit.
Okay, rolling with advantage. That is a 23.
Yes, you hit.
Okay. Ooh, that is 18 fire damage.
Crikey.
Nice. That's
Okay.
amazing.
18, you say?
Yep.
Okay, well, can you make a
Ooh.
perception check?
It has resistance. That's a 5.
Yeah, you did 18 points of damage. Huge hit. Yeah, go you. All right. At that point, the creature turns in your direction to where the firebolt came from. It begins by making a standing long jump towards you that covers 20 feet. Then it moves the remaining 40 feet as it races towards you, covering that space, and then it strikes at you with its barbed tail, which is going to miss you because I only rolled an 8.
Yep.
So this tail swishes down past you. Now, Feralt, it is actually your proper turn.
Okay. And now it can make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save against?
DC 14.
What is it particularly that I'm saving against? Is it a condition?
Wisdom.
Is it a condition that you're trying to achieve?
It's Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead. Okay. Fail.
Okay, that's okay. And it still doesn't give me the option to roll 2d12, so I'm just going to roll it manually.
This magical bell goes off in the middle of the forest in this
Okay, that's not the best roll. 5 points of necrotic damage.
5 points of necrotic damage. Okay. Very good. Feralt, do you have any other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, or dialogue?
Well, moving would... I don't have any bonus action options, and moving would provoke an opportunity attack. So I basically just, like, I've just basically got my shield in front of me and just, like, staring it down.
Okay, so you've taken your action and your bonus action, yeah?
Nope, I don't have any bonus
Don't have a
actions,
bonus
so I'm just... That's my turn.
Vespera.
Okay. I get within 30 feet. And I'm going to throw my produce flame at him.
Okay, well you're 30 feet behind Feralt, so yes, you are 30 feet close enough. Okay, so you
Yep.
go within the 30 feet, produce flame, fire it at the Blazal.
Blah.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's 11. I'm going to use my
Use
inspiration.
your inspiration to
Yep.
try again.
Yep, 18.
18, that is gonna hit. Yes.
Okay, by the way, I got a new feat. And my feat is Elemental Mastery Fire. So I ignore resistance.
You ignore resistance.
That's 14.
14. So 14 points of fire that ignores fire resistance.
Yeah.
Well, your 14
It's
points
hotter.
of fiery fire does fiery damage to the creature, and it yelps, burned. It looks down at the scorch marks that burn right through its flesh into its chest cavity, and you can see these leaking black organs dripping from within.
Delicious.
Vespera, is that the end of your turn?
Sadly, yes, I don't have any more bonus actions.
All right, but you're now very close to the creature, aren't you?
I'm 30 feet away.
30 feet away. Okay.
And it will provoke, right?
That is true.
So,
I don't have a
now,
melee weapon equipped though.
Everybody is starting their turn within 30
Punch
feet
him.
of this creature right now. Is that correct?
Except Drazan.
Except Drazan. Yeah, no, that's fair. And Drazan gets an attack with a crossbow now.
hey.
You were going to roll that, Charlie.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought
Okay.
Remember, +4.
+4 to hit.
Okay, let's go. 14.
14. That hits. He gets to make
Hey.
a D10 damage roll.
D10. Good ink. 4. I imagine you plus something.
Cool. Yep. Drazan's
But I don't know what
no,
that
it's
is.
actually not, because it's a crossbow. The crossbows don't get to add damage.
Isn't there like a
Yes, they
strength?
do.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Really?
Proficiency. Wait, no.
No, it's
that's
like
to hit.
it's crossbow is your let me
Dex?
see.
Strength?
Well,
Let me just. I've got a hand crossbow. Let me just equip it, and I'll just tell you.
You understand that if you think about it, it makes no sense that you should do more damage. Like for
No, the
Uh,
weapon itself does more.
Well, basically, it's
Like,
yeah.
you
So
can't
it's
pull it
plus
back any
it,
further than it goes. You can't get any more power out of it.
right, but per rules as written, it is plus your Dex modifier.
That makes sense. You could shoot somebody in the eye. So that's fair. Okay. So you get your Dex modifier as a damage modifier with the crossbow.
Yes, you add your Dex to it.
Okay, that does make sense. Excellent to hear. All right, so you guys both make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Oof. 10?
That's a fail.
13.
13 is a pass. Vespera, you take 5 points of necrotic damage as you realize this creature stinks like nothing you've ever seen.
I'm resistant to necrotic.
You're resistant?
So
You take half.
3?
Okay.
And roll
2?
round down too.
Okay, 2.
Yep, so 2 points of necrotic.
So it doesn't really do a lot.
Not a lot.
No.
All right. Then, with its barbed tail, it attacks Feralt again. Rolling a 14 to hit.
Doesn't even hit my shield. It's just like, I guess just kind of like, it misjudges it because like, even without using arcane deflection, I'm at 18 with the new shield.
Right. What you do notice as the tail flips past you is all of these pustules and nasty, disease-ridden, rotting grubs and shit on it, and you're like, oh, you don't want that to touch you.
Yeah.
Feralt, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to have it make another wisdom save.
Wisdom save, very good. It rolls a 6.
Okay, that's another 2d12 necrotic damage. That's a little better. That is 17 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, you see some of its spines shaken off. One of the horns literally snaps and breaks away. Some of its claws fall out from the damage that you've just done to it. And it looks up at you, and it looks absolutely furious.
I'm amazed. I'm just looking at it like shocked that it's still standing in that state.
Yeah. it's pretty shocked that it's still standing in that state too. Vespera, is it end of your turn first of all, Feralt?
Yep, that's me. I'm done.
Vespera.
Okay, I'm going to do it again. Produce a flame,
Roll to hit.
throw it at him. Here, catch. So 16.
16 hits.
Excellent. And that'll be another 8 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Remembering that it ignores resistance.
Yep, I do. Okay. It screeches as it catches on fire, and the flame burns up it, and it looks shocked that you're able to do this. Like, it's really surprised. Do you have any other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, or dialogue?
No, well, I guess I'm just going to stare at it with rage.
Okay.
Burning rage.
So nobody's moved, right?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
So everyone's making another Constitution saving throw, please.
10 again.
10 again? Okay, so
Yep.
you...
That is 22.
22 for you. All right, so you're good, Feralt. Vespera, you take a total of 4 necrotic damage, but you can halve that, of course, because you have resistance.
Okay.
So you take 2 points of necrotic. And at that point, the creature makes a standing leap towards Vespera, landing next to you. Whoosh! Its tail smashes towards you with a 14 to hit.
Nope. Smack it off my shield.
All right. Boom! It bounces off your shield. Excellent. Feralt, it's your turn.
Okay, so basically, first thing I'm going to do is move up so that, I'm basically just going to run up behind it, yelling at it.
All right.
And then from standing next to it, I am going to have it make another wisdom save for Toll the Dead.
All right.
DC 14.
Oh, 4.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see. What do we got? Well, that's not as good this time. It's only 7 points of necrotic damage.
All right. This time, the bell tolls above the creature. Boom! And again, it shakes, and fur and shit is coming out of it. Blood is pouring out of its ears now, and its eye sockets. It turns to you, and you notice that some of its teeth are missing, and it goes down onto its knee for a second and claws its way back up to its feet. Vespera is next after your turn. Feralt, you got anything else?
No, that's me.
All right, Vespera.
I wave my hands around in front of my face, and out come these claws. And I'm using primal savagery on this creature.
Primal savagery. Wow.
Yep.
All right.
It takes an action. It is a part of it is I grow these claws and I attack him in that same action.
Okay.
So
well, we're flanking, so you got advantage as well.
True.
yeah. All right, melee spell attack. Where are you?
Both of you do need to make con saves, I realize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every round.
Yep, that's a
so
19.
13.
Okay, you both pass.
Okay, sweet. All right, so it's a hit with primal savagery. I
With
should roll
advantage?
2. Yep, my bad. So it's 18.
18.
Yes.
Primal savagery to hit 18. Okay, that's a hit.
Excellent.
Let's do some damage.
So it will take 16 points of acid damage.
16 point of acid damage.
As I claw him.
You use your claws, you rip it from groin to sternum, from hip to shoulder.
I think I'll grab its heart.
You kill it. Whatever you do, you kill it, but you could tell me what you do. You can rip its heart out if you desire.
You just reach into its open, just reach into its open chest and crush its heart.
Yeah.
It drops to the ground in front of you and it begins to evaporate as its bones
wash my hands.
You see its skull kind of collapse in on its own weight, and slowly the flesh begins to bubble away into a kind of vapor. It takes about 10 minutes for that to happen, by the way.
I'm gonna go up to the pool that it was
Right.
eating at.
Um, you notice that there is a couple of corpses in that pool. Um, you immediately recognize them as some of the children from the Druidic Circle, the extended family.
I say a prayer. Um, and I'm gonna go in and bring them out.
I'm gonna help her with that.
All right, they're in very messy condition. Mostly you can
Uh,
recognize them from their clothes, but and most of their blood is now drained out into the pool, so the pool is full of blood.
hmm. Um,
So I'm just gonna like say that I've got a large piece of cloth in my bag, like canvas or something, and just I'm gonna suggest that she takes one end. We just kind of like pull it under and just try and lift them out one at a time that way.
all right, we'll try that.
Yep, you
Lift them
managed to get
out.
them out. It's not too hard.
Yeah,
We need to burn them and say some words. We can't take them back with us.
I know. It's we can do at least this much for them.
I'm gonna wave over Drazan as well.
All right, he comes over to you guys. Oh my goodness, what have you found? Children too. This is shocking. By the way, I was very impressed with what you did to that fiend. I had no idea you had such powers.
Yes. Um,
Where's Rokan when you need him?
That
he'll
is
be
a very good question, isn't it?
he'll be out there looking over us somewhere,
I hope
or
so.
trying to make it so that our way ahead is safer. Um, anyway, we're going to need to burn these two.
Do you think we should take a rest here?
I think the horses could probably use a rest, although I don't think we want to have them too close to the water, being as seeing as it's full of blood.
It seems polluted, yes. Yes, no, that's true. Perhaps we can find fresher water further upstream.
It's a
Let's.
good idea.
Why don't we walk the horses upstream?
Very well. Okay, so you guys walk the horses upstream. This takes you away from the road somewhat.
Well, it's better to be away from the road if we're going to be taking a rest anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so you go back further into into this kind of borderland between the wasteland and the forest, where it's pretty much the edge of the forest, and you can see into the borderlands from the edge of the forest here. It's just thick enough that you can take cover, and you can make some kind of survival check. I feel one of you or both of you, or help
Let's
action.
both. Um. Charlie, what's your bonus to survival?
+3.
Okay, I've actually got proficiency in survival, so I'll do it.
All right.
I guide you.
Okay, so I'll
Find us the best
roll.
place. Guidance. Um,
So that's a dirty 20 plus guidance.
hey.
All right.
I'm gonna roll guidance just in case.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
totally.
21.
21. Okay. So you find the perfect hiding spot. Feel free to describe it to us.
Um, I'm going to say that it's this huge tree. It's just kind of, it's not toppled over, but it's like the roots have come out and it's on an angle, but the tree's still growing and it's just kind of leaning against these younger trees that are still pretty big,
Yeah.
forming this kind of like, so it's like on an angle like that, and there's just this space under it
Okay.
that's got a few like grasses and whatnot growing in there.
Okay. So not unlike the other hidey hole.
Yeah, but instead of under the roots, this is actually under the trunk of a tree.
Under the trunk. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like this big tree, like the roots are pulled up
So
on
the
out of the ground
roots
on the
are
one
there and the
side.
top's there, and you're hiding here
I'm
somewhere.
more like probably closer to like 45 degrees, maybe 50 degrees. Yeah, so a bit steeper, so it's like not
Okay.
gonna fall over on us, but
Okay.
there's a decent amount of space under there.
Okay. Do you want to
Like
add any
maybe
further details to that? In fact, you know what? You guys can take 5 minutes to figure out your hidey hole. And then you can take a long rest, and you can make perception checks. And I'm going to roll a random encounter. There might not be anything, but there might be. So if there is, the more detail you have about your hidey hole, the more tactically you can use it.
Okay.
So take 5.
Yep.
Cop out.
Hey, no, no, no. You don't understand. He's going outside to impersonate a dragon.
All right.
No. So I'm imagining like, let's say that there's like a rock face on the far side.
Yeah,
So it's
completely
like,
sheltered.
you got this huge tree over the top, a rock face at the back, trees on the other side. So it's almost like a cavern, but it's wood.
Okay, right.
So nothing can come. Everything has to come up from us at us from the one direction. Let's say there's a little bit of a clearing in front of it. Um,
I don't want to get squished.
no, like I'm saying, like that. There's this tree has obviously been toppled over partly, but it's continued growing on this angle.
Right, okay. Okay.
But yeah, so I'm looking at some of the stuff that Russell has uh had on the wizard, and Ferlt doesn't know what most of this shit is, but I know what it is, or at least I'm pretty sure I do. We got some good shit.
Oh, nice. Well, we're killing wizards left, right, and center, so they're going to be
Well, this was like,
loot-tastic.
um, so yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for like anybody who's actually, I don't know. I mean, I can't see how many people are watching. I don't want to spoil it for people. I'll let Russell tell us what we got, but I know we got some stuff. We got a couple of things you're gonna like.
Oh, me? Or like, well, the
Well,
sparrow? Oh,
well, both.
okay.
Um, if one of the things is what I think it is, in the in-person campaign, Russell described it as, I think he said you could buy a small house with it, with the
Oh,
equivalent value.
well, let's just sell it and buy a small house.
I think I think that's a house in Vane Gate. I think Vane Gate real estate's a little bit cheaper than
To be
DAGDAGIEL.
fair, who would want to live in DnD5e?
Plus,
Gross.
I think
But
if it's what I think
like,
it is, I'm gonna hand it over to you for you to use.
why? God damn it, I can't wait to figure out what it is.
You'll,
If it's
well,
sealed
basically,
though, it's going in
what?
a chasm. Oh, we should add a chasm to our scene because then
Okay,
we can throw it in
let's say across. Okay, so let's say that it's the stream branches off, um,
into
and
a
one of the
chasm.
branches goes like so. The one, yeah. So okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
There's a rock face behind us. The stream is actually kind of like going behind it and down the rock face and coming out around the side of it, and then the stream forks and goes off into a chasm.
nice, nice. I like it. Uh, I still think the turning the cursed staff into a lamp is going to be a hit.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah,
In case anybody is actually watching, I make lamps as a hobby, so that's what that joke is about.
yeah, but also a cursed like a cursed item would be pretty cool. We can't see you. You've disappeared. You disappeared in time. Nope.
Ah, gonna hang on.
Okay. Yeah, get rid of the alchemy lab. Nice. Very cool. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the annoying thing is if it's the sword's probably a strength one, which means it's kind of useless to me.
Yeah. I'd say give it to Drazan, but
I mean, I got two
why
of
would he
my
want that? Yeah.
I
Drazan's been
mean,
asleep for a little while now.
okay.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, what we decided was, so there's a rock face at the back of this sort of cavern made out of trees. The water's actually coming down from like a higher level,
Through the
coming down the
rocks.
rocks, going down behind us,
Okay.
and kind of coming out the side.
Okay.
And we actually decided that across this clearing that's in front of where the trees are, there's actually a bit of a chasm, and the water actually branches off, and the river forks, and one fork kind of goes off into the chasm.
Okay. How deep is this chasm?
What do you think, Charlie?
Deep enough to smash an orb.
So I figure, like a good, rocky chasm, at least,
Yeah,
and this
jagged
would be on
rocks.
the Badlands or whatever you called it side,
Yeah.
good, 30, 40 feet at least.
All right. Okay.
So maybe
And
more of a gorge.
More of a gorge. All right.
ritualistically, we're going to walk
It's
this.
symbolically a chasm.
Symbolically, yes. All right. All right. All right. So you park yourselves pretty much under this tree.
Yep.
You're back to the rock face.
Yep.
Water coming out on your left hand side as you face out from the rock face.
Yes.
Yep. And on the right, there's a gorge.
I'm gonna say the gorge is
On
actually
the left.
like the gorge is the gorge is across the clearing, so like we're facing the gorge.
Okay, so the gorge is between you and the barrens, right? It's in fact
Yes.
it cuts through the barrens.
Yes.
I see. Yep. Okay. Cool.
So it kind of peters out as it gets down to where we saw that creature.
Yeah,
But
that makes
yeah,
sense.
we're facing it.
That makes sense. Okay. Cool.
And ritualistically, we'll walk somberly to the edge of the edge of the chasm and throw that orb in.
So you're going to definitely do that?
I'm going to recommend doing that in the morning.
Oh, all right.
I just like if I don't want to mess around with
Oh,
like
true. Don't worry.
if it's
I
a magic
understand.
item that I kind of get an idea of what it's for, it's one thing, but if it's something that I've got no idea what it's for, I don't want to be potentially giving away our position.
I understand.
On
Right.
that topic, can I get an initiative check? Just in case.
Okay.
That's an 18.
That's 22.
Wow, very
Bow,
nice.
bow, bow.
Okay, cool. All right, so having thrown the orb into the chasm, it falls.
Oh,
No. We said we're not going
You're
to
not gonna do
until
yeah.
not going to do it before we have a rest.
All right.
Yeah, the
We
morning.
we can yeet the orb in the morning.
All
Yes.
right, cool. Okay, so what do you do with the orb whilst you rest?
I just leave it in my bag of holding.
Okay, cool. All right,
I-
so you take your long rest, and
Okay.
I will get who's taking what watches.
We're also going to worry about like the bodies of the children, because like we have to burn them away from camp.
I assume we would
but-
have burned them by where we found them.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
let's do
mean,
that.
let's say we burned them where we found them, like we dragged some wood over and just like set up little pyres.
There's
Yeah.
not a
We
lot
also
of wood, to be fair. Everything around here is wet and damp, or it's already burned.
Okay, well, we just use lots and lots of magical fire.
that will totally work.
Lots and lots.
Lots and lots of cantrips.
Yeah, I
Lots
mean,
of-
your
lots of
as you
cantrips.
say, your fire is resistance to resistance, so
Yeah.
you can burn wet
It
bodies.
burns even wet shit.
It burns wet bodies for sure. All right.
And
And
we'll try and emulate the ritual that we did with the lantern, but it's hard when
do you want to make a religion check?
don't have any of that. Sure.
Aren't you a cleric?
I am, but
Part-time cleric, at least.
For some reason,
16.
you'd think that religion would be like a wisdom one or something because that's associated with clerics, but no,
Yeah.
it's intelligence.
Yeah. Well, intelligence is what you know.
Right. Which could just be history, really, to be fair. But
Yeah.
you know.
So
Okay.
when we burn them, I will say their names and like just pray that the phoenix takes their ashes and um
And can you
they
remember
are
the name of the
reborn
phoenix?
in future. Hmm?
If you can remember the name of the phoenix without referring to your notes, you can have inspiration.
Starts with an A.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
It was too long. It wasn't like Chad or anything.
Yeah.
It was a long name.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll give you the inspiration anyway.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
Cheap at the price.
yes.
Good deals today. Everyday low prices on inspiration. Cool.
And then we say goodbye. We find this new place. We have a rest, and
All right.
we take watches the entire time.
All right. So who's taking first watch?
Uh,
Drazan,
I'll
he's with
take
us.
first watch.
All right. So you take first watch. Now it is early evening as you take first watch, and the first sun, Solemn Pingal, drops below the horizon, darkening the sky by about 75%, as the second sun, much smaller, still radiates purpley mauve light from the western horizon. Um, so there is still some light, albeit
Yeah.
colourful.
Okay.
You can make a perception check.
That is an 18.
An 18. Excellent. All right. Somewhere in the distance, you start to hear the sounds of wild animals either waking up or foraging. Quite far in the distance, and then up in the hills, up and out in the Badlands, out where that canyon is, you think you can hear the sounds of some creature howling. You can make a nature check.
That is a 21.
You believe it to be the sound of a hyena.
Okay. Is it possible to perform the ritual to summon a familiar while I'm on watch?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I am going to use Find Familiar, and while I'm on watch, I am going to resummon Stolas
Okay.
using the familiar summoning components we took off the wizard.
Look who's back. Stolas is back.
Okay.
All right. Poof.
And then,
Your owl.
yep.
Right.
So I'm gonna say we probably haven't eaten food at this point, so I'm gonna start preparing some dinner for us, and let somebody else take over on watch.
Well, a good berry is sustenance for an entire day.
Yeah.
I know it ain't great, but like if you can't be bothered, then that's cool too.
Well, I'll use ingredients so I can prepare like a salad or something.
Now, your little hollow that you've created, is this? Would you sort of consider this to be it's undercover, right?
Yes.
How wide and long is it? How much space is there? What does the space look like? Is it a U shape or a square?
I mean, I'm gonna imagine like the floor of it is roughly square, maybe more like a rectangle. But there's a lot more headroom at one height than at the other. The one end just kind of tapers down to nothing.
The ground is rough terrain.
I'm thinking like it's like kind of like there's some like prairie grass growing in there, maybe towards the back, some moss on the ground.
Okay.
Because I mean there is a water source nearby, and there's
Right.
probably a little bit of water coming down the rock
Right.
face.
True. Okay. It's quite damp.
Not super damp, like not a lot of water, but like just a trickle of water coming through.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. And there's like an entrance on either side, basically.
There's just the one entrance at the front, because there's a rock face at the back.
Right. Okay. So the tree is up against the rock face.
No. There's there's one tree against another, and then a rock face at the back. Sorry, it's I keep disappearing. Like,
yep.
So the tree's fallen against some younger trees that are kind of like propping it up a bit, and then behind it there's the rock face.
Okay. Cool.
So it's kind of like the floor's like that section is like that internally, basically.
Okay. I think I can work with that. I think I've got enough information to kind of figure out
Yep,
what's
yep,
going
yep.
on. So did I make you roll a perception check? Yes,
I rolled a
18.
perception check
Right.
on my turn.
And then you did a nature check to figure out that the sound was
The
probably hyenas.
yes.
Okay. Well, your watch pretty much comes to an end after the, what is it, 4 hours you're resting for? Or 3? How
I
long
mean, we're doing a long rest, right?
Yeah, you need 8
Yeah.
hours. You've got
We're gonna have
Drazan.
to stay up long,
8 divided by 3
stay
is...
asleep longer because there's less of us.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you need at least 6 hours, so we could do like 3 hour watches over 9 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that
I'm
sounds
also
good.
going to pull out the other. You know what? I'm going to do identify as a ritual on some of the magic items I found during the latter part of my watch.
Okay. Which items?
Well, I'm going to start with the ring.
All right. The ring is a ring of spell storing.
Ah, interesting. That's not what I was expecting, but okay. Um, so the only way to find out what spells are in there is to try and use it, basically.
I would have to check up on that.
Okay. So the ring is spell storing. The pendant.
The pendant seems to be some sort of you don't exactly know what it is, but it's got some sort of fiendish connections based on the seals on the front of it, and
No, I'm ritual casting identify on it.
right. You don't. It's not something that I have homebrewed or that you can use. So
Okay.
it's a magic item for the Barakal wizards to use.
Okay.
You don't know what it is or how it works.
Okay.
Throwing in the
So
chasm.
I don't really want to leave strange magic items just lying around on the ground.
It's okay.
Um, and then the I'm going to just identify to confirm the effects of one of the swords and one of the shields.
Yep, they seem to be +1 weapons and
Okay, so
shields.
I've got taken the one shield for myself. I'm imagining these are metal shields,
Mm-hmm.
so Vespera wouldn't be able to use them.
They're also very, very ornate and very specific.
Okay.
So anyone seeing you with them will go, "Oh, those are wyvern-clad guard shields and swords. They've been stolen."
Yeah. But so obviously you don't want to use them around DAGDAGIEL, but out here in the wilderness where we need every advantage we can get,
Right.
I give Drazan the +1 sword and shield
All right.
just so that he has that bit of extra protection
Yep.
if it comes to that.
Fair call.
And then I am going to put my head down for hopefully 6 hours.
All right. And
Yep.
Vespera is going to take watch.
Yes, it's my turn.
So what do you do with your free time during your watch, Vespera?
I'll probably be very sad. Mourning the loss of the people that were once
From
her
your druidic
family.
circle.
Yeah, so she'll just be like sobbing, but
Right.
like not trying not to wake anyone up.
Can she make a perception check, please?
Okay. That'll be 20.
Okay, so as you're considering and you're thinking about the names of the people that you've lost and remembering their faces and fond memories and times and wondering about how much terror they must have gone through when they died, you hear something up in the tree above you, climbing or crawling, or some leaves and branches shifting.
Can I peer around to get a better look?
You can move out from your position.
Yep.
Are you being at all stealthy or careful?
Yes.
Okay, can you make a stealth check, please?
That would be 13.
13. Okay. All right. Suddenly, from above you, you hear this And what's your armor class?
17.
20 to hit.
Ooh.
You suddenly take 7 points of damage as this piercing damage, normal, non-magical, as this arrow, hefty arrow, strikes you. It's not big enough to be a spear, but it's bigger than any arrow that you've seen. And it has like a stone head on the tip of it, obsidian tip. It has some black feathering on the other end of it.
I'm gonna.
Very rugged, very primitive looking.
Well, I'm pretty sure I rolled a pretty damn high initiative, so I'm gonna
Right. Well, it is.
run back to the others.
As it happens, it is your turn. Yes.
I'm running back to the others.
You go running back to the others.
Yeah,
Okay.
with this arrow in my chest.
Cool. As you go running back to the others, 3 creatures drop down between you and the camp from the tree. In front of you. Each of them is carrying a spear, and they lower their heads, and you see them kind of growl on their haunches, holding these spears with these hyena faces, humanoids.
So gnolls.
They come charging towards you. Vespera, it's your turn.
Yeah. So, dude, where's my turn at? I haven't had enough sleep for this, so I am going to yell, "Get up!" And
All right.
then I'm going to get up in the grill of one of them and claw at them.
All right. So you get up in the grill of the first one.
Yeah.
All right. So you charge ahead. So you're now in melee combat with the gnoll. Roll
Yes.
to hit with whatever you're rolling to hit with, please.
Okay. Ooh, 25.
Fucking that hits.
And that will be 11 points of acid damage.
Wow. Woof. Okay. You bloody him with one strike. Okay. Is that the end of your turn? You got anything else?
I didn't have enough time to sleep. I only had 3 hours, but would that be enough for a short rest?
Short rest, yes.
Okay, sweet. Yep, nothing I can do right now.
Okay,
That's
you do
fine.
get a short rest. Yay. Okay,
Yep.
so that's the end of your turn. Cool.
Yes.
The gnoll that's right in front of you goes for a spear attack. And rolls a natural 1. His spearhead just snaps off as he goes to strike at you off the side of your shield. It just snaps off entirely, and he looks at it for a moment like, "What the?" At that
Cheap,
point,
shitty.
it is Feralt's turn. You're awake from the screaming and the noise. Half your movement to get to your feet.
Okay, so half my movement to get up. Can I, like, so it's dark, so I'd be firing at disadvantage if I want to, like, but can I kind of, like, see their silhouettes or anything?
You can make a perception check.
Okay. That is a natural 1 for perception.
Your eyes are completely ill-adjusted to the light right now, and all you can see is the shapes from when your eyes were closed a moment ago.
Okay, in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my action to share stances with Stolas.
Okay, cool. Oof,
And
so
that
where is Stolas?
he would be just up in the trees above. He probably fell asleep as well, but he'd be awake now.
All right.
So I can now see what's going on.
Woof.
So,
right. So Stolas, from your perspective from Stolas, you look around and you can now see Vespera in melee combat with 3 gnolls, and you can see another 2 gnolls in the tree with longbows,
okay.
who are preparing to fire at Vespera also.
It's like, yeah, I just so I'm going to use a free action to call out to Vespera, archers in the trees.
All right.
And I'm going to try and, like, I can't really move particularly given Stolas's position because I can't see where I'm going.
No.
But I am, like, you know.
And you've only got 15 feet left. Too.
Yeah, I'm basically, like, I'm going to kind of, like, creep forward, I guess, even if I can probably only really go about 5 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm just going to move forward a little bit, and then that's my turn.
Okay. All right. So Null A attacks Vespera with a spear.
Is Drazan a part of this as well?
Drazan sits up and is loading a crossbow.
Okay.
He can fire a crossbow on your next turn, Vespera. And then every second turn. So the to-hit roll. Oh, that's a 20. Not natural, however.
So
That's
you know what?
5 points of piercing damage for Sparrow.
Never mind.
Okay.
Okay. No, never mind. Scratch that.
Never
I was. Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
The next Null goes to attack you. This one's going to try and bite you, Vespera.
Okay.
But he misses. His jaws snap at you. The third one goes at you with a spear. That's a 14 to hit. Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Vespera, it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to get Theo out. Theo, please come out. And then teleport us immediately.
So Theo operates on a short rest?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Wild shape is short rest.
Okay. So Theo comes out.
Yep.
And
teleport immediately 15 feet back, hopefully under some cover, and all of them have to take make checks.
Do you want to teleport back away from the hidey hole, or do you want to teleport past them into the hidey hole so that you have your back to the wall and Feralt at your side?
Into the hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So woof, you port into the hole, and they are making dex saving throws, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, the first one rolls a 15.
Okay, that's fine.
One rolls a 10. And
that fails.
The third one rolls a 5.
And that also fails. So it takes 2d6, 11 points of fire damage.
Okay, so 11 points of fire damage is the total, and it's only how many failed?
It's on those that failed. Yeah.
2 of them failed, right? And 1 of them succeeded. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cool. Excellent. Vespera, you got any other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, or dialogue?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Oh, movement could probably. Nah, that's fine. Oh, am I out of the way of those archers? That's the thing.
Yes, you are.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, you are.
Perfect.
Which Stolas, are you still sharing with Stolas right now?
Yeah, I'm still sharing until I stop.
Okay, so you see one of the gnolls drops from the tree but starts scurrying away, running back towards the canyon. That was one of the archers. The other archer drops to the ground, drops his bow, and takes out his spear.
Okay.
Yep.
So, bonus action, call Stolas down to sit on my shoulder.
Okay.
Effectively giving me dark vision.
Okay.
Now, these gnolls, is it possible that I could position myself so that they're in a straight line away from me?
No. They are 1, 2, 3 across the entranceway.
Okay, so they're blocking the entrance.
Yeah, and they're next to each other. They're how wide did you see this entranceway?
Like maybe 15 feet with enough headroom to get it through.
Right, so they're as far apart from each other as they can be.
Okay, so it's not possible. So I couldn't like get past the one on the one side and get them in a line.
Each side, they're on the walls.
Along
the walls with one in the middle.
And if I got between them, they'd be flanking me.
Yep.
Okay. So much for that idea.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. They're just Okay, so in that case, how many of them could I get within a 20-foot cube?
A 20-foot cube, all of them.
Okay, then they can all make dex saves. DC 14.
Okay.
I cast Fairy Fire.
Fairy Fire. first one gets a still rolling. It looks like a 16, but it hasn't popped. There it is, 17.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's a save.
Yeah, that's a save. DC is 14.
Okay, second dex save is a 11. It's a fail.
That's a fail.
Third is a natural 20 for a 21.
Okay, that saves, obviously.
Okay, so the one in the middle has been fairy fired.
What about the archer that jumped down?
You can't see him yet. He hasn't come into view.
Okay. Well, one of them's glowing like a candle anyway, and that's my turn.
Okay. All right. The first of the three that are in the line at the front charges forward with a spear to attack Vespera, rolling a 16 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. The second one tries to do the same thing. He's got fairy fire on him, and seeing the fairy fire on him and the fact that he rolled a natural 1 to attack you, he slips and lands on his ass, losing his turn. The next gnoll charges in. He's not fairy fired. He's got his spear. He rolls a 7, so I guess he sees his friend slip, and that puts him off entirely. So that's all of the gnolls that you can see. Vespera, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to throw a firebolt at probably the one that I have advantage on.
Firebolt or fire?
Sorry, produce flame.
Produce flame.
Yep.
Because firebolts.
None of those. Yep.
All right.
So produce flame. Blink.
Blink.
So it is with advantage because I can see him. So 23.
23 to hit. Yes, I think that might hit. Are you going for
Excellent.
A, B, or D?
The fairy fired guy.
The fairy fired guy. Okay, yep. Damage.
Yeah, that's why I have advantage. It was 7 fire.
7 fire.
I'm then going to have Theo go in and teleport right back to me.
Okay, so he makes a dex save.
I'm trying to get like the majority of them.
All 3 of them can be caught in that dex save.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one failed. Second one failed. Third one failed.
Nice. It's not a lot, but 6 points of fire damage for all of them.
Boof.
To all of you.
Oh, wait a minute. That guy didn't take it. It was the ones you can see. 5. They're all wounded and bloodied at this point that you can see.
And burnt.
And is that the end of your turn, Vespera?
Yes.
Drazan.
Drazan.
Oh, right, yeah. Drazan, let's go.
Roll to hit. Avery for remembering.
I mean, he's probably going to hit the fairy fire one too. It's just so easy.
Yeah,
he can't see otherwise.
Why would you not shoot the fairy fired one?
It'll be 14, not 20. 14.
14 to hit.
Yeah.
Sadly, does not quite penetrate the gnoll's armor. Despite their primitive armor, it is rather difficult to penetrate even with a heavy crossbow at this range, apparently.
Okay, right.
That's Drazan's turn, so now it's my turn. Okay, the archer gnoll that was doing the hidey business, he pops around the corner now that he's dropped his bow and switched it for a spear, and he throws that spear into the room at Vespera. He rolls a 15 to hit.
Nope.
No. All right. Fralt.
Okay, hang on. Just let me double check one thing. Okay, so I'm not going to go for the. I'm actually not going to go for the one who's fairy fired because he's lighting the room up. Now that the archer one has come in, are at least can I get 2 of them in a straight line, or is he joined in like, or are they still all in a row?
He's okay. What he does is he's popped out round the corner.
Okay, so he's popped out, fired, and jumped back in.
Spear, and then he's ducking back.
Okay. In that case,
you can attack him, but he will have half cover.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with him right now. So basically, they're all damaged. So I'm going to get up in one of the face of the one. Let's say I'm going to get up in the face of the one on the right.
Okay.
So he's in melee combat with him, and he's taking damage from the teleportation. He can make a wisdom save as I cast Toll the Dead.
All right. Wisdom save.
DC is 14.
14. Oh, that's a natural 15.
Ah.
Yeah.
So he's probably a bit confused, but he doesn't take any damage.
Doesn't take any damage. Okay. Do you have any other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, or dialogue that you should like to add presently?
I call out to the others. I saw another one running away. We might have more coming.
All right. The three that are in the row across the front there, they're all wounded, but they're still bitey, speary, attacky. First one goes to bite Vespera. Rolls an 22 to hit with that bite.
Definitely gonna hit.
Expecting that will hit. Okay, what's the frickin' damage? Let me widen up my log thingy. Here we go. Now I can read it. 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, out.
Its bite.
Mm.
Okay, the next creature tries to spear you. It's using its spear with 2 hands. But it rolls a natural 2 for 5. No, for 6. That misses you. And the third one tries to do the same thing with its spear as well. Oh, but it rolls a natural 20.
Silvery barbs.
24. Silvery barbs.
Let's go.
All right. Silvery barbs is a reaction. He tries to spear you again. Oh! And another natural 20. You would not believe it.
Seriously?
I'm not kidding. You look at the dice log.
Oh. Okay, well, I give advantage to Vespera anyway.
Okay, you give advantage to Vespera. That's true, but she's still taking a critical hit. So
sure, be fine.
Go. Piercing damage to the total of 13 points of piercing damage. It hits you quite nastily.
Looking very bad.
The next knoll follows suit. We're at the third knoll of the line.
Remember, that's the one in my face as well.
Right, so he will be attacking you. That will make sense. Okay. Oh my God! Another natural 20.
Okay. Well, at least it's not hitting Vespera.
Right. So crit damage on. Oh, that is 12 points of spear damage, piercing damage to Feralt.
Yep.
Okay, Vespera, it's your turn. You don't look very well. You got 5 hit points.
No, I don't look very well at all. So I go into my little bag and I.
Reloading.
Okay, I'm gonna put a berry in my mouth.
All right.
Giving myself 4. And then I'm gonna have Theo go in, teleport back again.
Okay, so Theo's doing his thing. All right. Dexterity save for the first knoll. It rolls an 11.
That fails.
Second, rolls a 10.
That fails.
Third knoll rolls a 20.
That one succeeds.
Okay. So
the other ones?
Damage, please.
No. 7 points to those who have failed.
7 to those that fail. Okay, so the knoll on the left burns up and dies, and crumbles to the ground, screeching. The next one is severely burned, and that's that. Okay. That's the end of your turn, Vespera?
Did you use your action, or was that just a bonus action?
No, she used her action to eat a good berry.
Okay. Yeah. Remember, you still have advantage from the silvery barbs.
Okay.
For an attack roll.
Yeah, for an actually, it does apply to saving throws or ability checks as well. I found out.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Good to
know. But you've got a minute to use it.
Okay, sweet.
You got 10 rounds. Okay, Feralt. No, it's not your turn. It's my turn. Okay, so the knoll that popped out and threw the spear a moment ago, comes back. This time he's returning to his longbow, and he pops out with his longbow and fires at Vespera. 21 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Gamash. Yep,
Then he
I'm looking
ducks
very,
back
very
into
bad.
cover from around the corner, so he's out of sight. Feralt, your turn.
Um, can I reach Vespera from where I'm standing?
Yes.
Actually, you know what? Even if it didn't matter. Okay. So for my action,
Mm-hmm.
cure wounds at second level on Vespera.
Okay. Roll your heals. Roll up your heals.
12 points of healing.
Nice.
Nice. Thank
Those are
you.
good heals. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bonus action.
No bonus action, just
Bonus action. Okay.
that's
And that's you're not going to move from there either, I assume.
no, because that would provoke opportunity attack.
All right. So Knoll A is dead, crumpled, burned up, and still smouldering on the floor. Knoll B sees that. It makes him even angrier. So he tries to bite Feralt this time because you're an obvious target. 14 is not going to hit you, is it, Feralt?
Not even
Not
close.
even close. Knoll D tries to do the same thing, but this time with a spear. And he rolls a 17 to hit Feralt.
Almost, but not quite.
Not quite. Okay, and it is
So I just
Vespera's
catch it
turn.
on my shield and just bat it away.
Vespera.
I am going to get up in the grill of one and slash it
With
Slash
advantage.
It.
with advantage.
With advantage.
Right, yeah. Let's have a look. It's going to be Primal Savagery.
Uh-huh.
So luckily I have advantage. Hey, 25.
25 to hit. Yep.
Yeah.
You going for B or D?
The one that looks more injured.
All right, B.
Probably the
Yep.
one that's not glowing.
B is the one that's glowing.
So D then, because you can't get double advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Sure, I'll do that then. Yeah.
All right. So
And then I'll
D.
have Theo like go around to the one with the bow.
Sorry, did you hit D or not?
Yes.
25 to hit, wasn't it? Did you get damage
Yeah.
for that?
6.
6 damage. Okay, well, you tear him apart.
Excellent. I get Theo to go and teleport back from the archer.
Okay. From the archer
Yep.
around the corner. Okay, cool.
She has 30-foot movement.
Yep, she can do that.
Yep.
Archer fails.
Okay. 7 points of fire
All right, very
damage.
good. Done.
Yep.
That's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the archer pops around, very burned up at that point, and launches a longbow shot at your face, Vespera. It misses wildly, a 6, so it just slams into the tree trunk behind you. Dunk.
Nice.
Feralt, it's your turn.
Okay, so the glowy guy is still there.
Yep. He's the only. There's 2 alive. There's the archer that's hiding back and forth, popping out, and there's one spear Knoll.
Okay. The archer, he's behind cover, but can I see him?
No, you can't see him.
Okay.
Oh, not unless you use Stolas, but no, Stolas is on your shoulder now.
I mean, I could have Stolas move,
Yeah.
but it would be an action to share senses.
Yeah, no, not worth it.
So basically, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna try and take care of the guy in front of me. So,
Right.
the Knoll B, I think you said it is.
Yep.
That's still there. He can make a wisdom save.
All right. As the bell tolls, he fails his wisdom saving throw.
That's 2d12.
He's almost certainly gonna die.
That's 21 points of damage.
Yeah, he had 3 hit points. So you can imagine what Toll the Dead does to him.
He just
splatter him
literally
on the wall, basically.
Yeah. I can prestidigitation that away later. Basically, then what I do is I run out looking at the archer. So basically,
Okay, so you use your movement now to get out to where the archer is.
Yeah. So basically, just trying to get up in his face so that he can't keep taking pot shots at Vespera.
Okay, have you used your action? Any bonus action now?
I haven't used I have no bonus action. I've used my action.
Okay, cool. Vespera, it's your turn.
I think I'll run around and get that dude.
That archer as well. So you're gonna run out past where Feralt is, basically.
Yeah. How far away is he outside of the?
Oh, 5 feet round the corner.
Okay, sweet. I'll go around, slash him.
All right. So you zoom around the corner. You're making an.
You going to flank?
A melee attack.
Sure, yeah. I'll scooch around
All
him.
right, so you guys are
And
flanking for advantage.
yeah.
Roll to hit.
All right.
I assume you're...
Primal Savagery. Um,
So this is your new power at level
nice.
5, is it?
It's a cantrip,
Oh.
and I swapped out Shillelagh
Ah.
because
Okay.
I can. So yeah, 24.
24 hits. Damage,
Um,
please.
so 10 points of acid damage.
All right, that kills him. How does he die?
Oh, probably brutally. I'm
I
not
would
very
say.
happy. Just gonna go at it
All right, so
like an animal.
All right, you rip him to pieces basically, and he or
And
she.
then I call Theo, go back to my delicate demeanor, and walk back to the camp with a arrow sticking out of my chest.
All right, Drazan looks up at you. What the hell happened to you?
Well, I got fired at by an arrow, by Knowles.
I've heard of those creatures, the savage.
Yes, and it hurts. I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
Oh, now?
If you could tie this up to something and then tie that onto something, I could teleport out of this. It really hurts.
You're gonna teleport out of it. That's very clever. What if I end up teleporting with you, though?
Go a distance away. All of you go a distance away. It's all right. I'll do it myself. I'll go get some. I'll get some rope tied onto the arrow.
I think it would be given that I've got jeweler's tools, it would be reasonable that I'd have some like wire in my bag.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just worried that, rope's just gonna burn up and maybe not do anything. So I'm just going to tie some wire onto the arrow and tie it off to something so that she can, definitely get the arrow out.
Okay.
I'm like, stand back.
I
Further.
say way back, but
Further.
not too far back. I'm not gonna back into the gorge. I'm being very
Alright.
careful about that.
Feralt, I'll get you to make some sort of sleight of handy check to do with your tool kit. Do you have a tool check for that?
You had proficiency
Uh,
when you
so
use
that's
it.
like 7.
Okay. Okay.
I guess Tinker's tool maybe.
7, you say? Alright, so Vespera, you teleport away from the arrow.
Yeah.
I think the arrow just comes with you and it slips its connection to the copper wire.
Damn it. That hurt. That did work, did it? It's still here.
You know what we would do? You'd snap the tip off and pull it out.
Well, that doesn't sound very nice.
Well, you just cut the head off the damn thing and then slide it back out. Then you don't.
Okay. If you're going to do it gently, please.
It's like the blind leading the blind here. Alright, turn around.
I turn around.
I'm gonna make a medicine check here.
He's done this before. He has many friends who get shot in the knee with arrows.
13 on his medicine check. Okay, he snaps it off and pulls the arrow out of your back.
Ow. Owie, ow, 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 ow.
You should be able to heal that, man.
I start chugging berries.
Alright, chugging berries. Nom, 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 nom. Okay.
Ah, I feel better. Thank you. Thank you. No more of that. Maybe this wasn't a good idea to be here.
We had to stop somewhere, and this looked defensible. There's water.
I think we made the right decision. I mean, we could have been out in the open when they attacked us. They could have ambushed us.
I'm very tired.
You should sleep now. I'll watch. He says as he stretches the crossbow back and loads another bolt.
Um,
I know it doesn't mean much, but I'm going to guide him. It
Okay.
only lasts a minute, but
okay. Now he's using. Does he have proficiency with martial weapons, or is he
Yeah.
just happens to have it?
Yeah, he
Okay,
has.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull my hand crossbow out and just hand it to him. Just say, this might give you an extra shot in the pinch.
2 shots better than 1.
Hmm,
Thank you. I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it. He takes out a couple of daggers too and sticks them in the earth next to him.
Yeah,
He's got his weapons ready and his shield is there. He creates a sort of defensible position up near the front, a little bit closer to where the
yeah,
gnolls
yeah,
came
yeah,
through, so he has more
yeah,
of
yeah.
a view
Um,
to look around.
I'm also going to like just make sure he's got plenty of crossbow bolts as well, because I've
Yep,
got a few with him as well,
yep,
with me as well. So it's like I'm gonna hand over my crossbow bolts to him as well, just so that because I mean it would be different crossbow bolts for the hand crossbow, wouldn't it?
yes, yes, they're light
Okay, so I'm gonna
crossbow
make sure he's
bolts.
got plenty of ammunition for both, and I'm just going to send Stolas back up into the tree, reminding him that there was one that ran off, and
Okay,
I'm just gonna put my head down to get what rest I can.
all right, fair enough. So you finish your long rest without any further ado.
cool. Yay! Finally.
You may now click your long rest buttons and
Yep.
achieve the long rest you've been waiting for.
Oh yeah.
You've been through a few encounters before, haven't you, without a long rest?
We have,
That was like 4 or 5, maybe? At least 4.
yeah.
It's the one that was at the tree. But yeah, we're okay.
Right. That was a,
We're done good.
that was a
Okay,
long
so
multi-part encounter. All right.
um, so having thought about it, I am going to hand over the pearl of power I took from that other wizard to Vespera, saying, I think you might get more use out of this than I do.
How do I use this?
So basically, I just described to her the process of attuning to it and the process of using it to recover a spell slot.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, so so you'll need to attune to that, but you can recover one spell slot up to third level a day.
Oh, wonderful.
Uh,
Thank you.
uh, so yeah, so this is me describing it out of game, but yeah,
Oh,
it's an action to do that. But
sweet.
yeah,
Yep. Done.
Excellent. Vespera has another magic item.
Hmm.
well, how many does she have so far?
I have Ascending Stone
Oh,
and
yep.
Pearl of Power. Speaking of Ascending Stone, I plan on using that right now.
Okay, who are you
Yep.
sending to? Who's got the other
To
stone?
Ionin.
Eonin, right, okay. Um,
Beep, beep, beep.
okay, you send your message. What do you send? What's the message that you send? Because it's not a radio telephone. It's only a once a day, 25 words there and back.
Yes.
So what do you
Dear
say?
Ionin, I hope you are safe. Many druids have fallen and been taken. I miss you. We are safe enough. Can I help? I think that's 25.
Do you have to be attuned to sending stones?
I
Do
don't
both
think you
parties
do.
have to be attuned to them?
No, so basically it's
No.
just like I think it's just like there's two stones. If you
Right,
have one, you can use it.
right. And if you are
Well, that's
holding one
because
and somebody messages you using the other stone, then you get the message as long as you're holding it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You get a message back. It says, "Your
oh dear.
friend Eonin is dead now. I have his ashes with me, as with the rest of your people. They suffered. I will find you, Vespera."
Okay. Um, I I throw the sending stone on a stone on a rock.
Right.
throw it.
Smashing it.
Yeah.
Okay. You just killed a magic item.
It's not the first one. That'll be the last.
Okay. Would you like to yeet an orb right now?
Very much so, please.
So I pull the weird orb out of the bag. I'm like Ferlt is a type who's actually genuinely curious about it, so he's a little bit wistful that he's not going to get to examine it, but Vespera clearly needs to vent some emotions right now, so he hands it over. Just silently.
Thank you. I am probably going to cover it in produce flame as I take it over to the chasm. I lift it above my head and I eat it.
You make a perception check as you're going about doing these things.
Okay.
I made a perception check as well. I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Oh, it was almost a natural one. 19.
19, okay. As Vespera picks up the orb and begins to raise it above her head, and you're producing flame around it. Through the flame inside the orb itself, you see this eye open, almost like a flame itself, peering at you, and for a moment you feel as if something is peering directly into your soul.
And I will say, you will all die.
You toss it off the top. And just to see how dramatically it goes, why don't you make an athletics check?
Okay. Athletics check.
Spend your inspiration?
Can I make it acrobatics?
No, this is athletics. Unless you're trying to juggle it, then that's different.
I can juggle it over the edge. Okay, so it'd be a 10. Maybe I'll make it dramatic. Use my inspiration and roll worse. Excellent.
Wow.
So 10.
All right. Well, 10 is average, right? So it's an average throw. You're not like Superman. Why would it be? So you throw the orb and it sails off over the side of this is the gorge, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it plummets into the gorge and you hear it shatter. And you see a spray of sparkling dust fire up into the air about 10 or 15 feet.
I turn and I walk away. Quite pissed off.
Would you like to make a perception check?
Perception. 14.
14. You immediately begin to smell sulfur in the air.
I immediately bring up a produce flame.
All right. Very good.
I'm looking for this little
so
bastard.
You're standing there holding a produced flame, and you can make a perception check.
Perception. Let's go. Oh, that was so close to a 20. Oh, it's a 20. But it was so close to a natural 20.
So you got an unnatural 20?
Yeah.
All right. So you know that creature that you fought not so long ago that was by the pool and the horns and... Well, there's two of those crawling out of the gorge presently. They leap up the sides, enormous 20-foot jumps they make up the side, and they just clamber. And as they do, coming into your range, you immediately smell the stench of their rotting presence, and need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Do I need to make one as well?
If you're close to Vespera, you shall, yes.
I am. Does a 15 save?
15 saves.
Hold on, I'm sick. Don't know why you haven't included the... Okay, yeah.
What did you get, Vespera?
Sorry, what was the check again?
It is a
con save, isn't it?
Con save.
Okay, sweet. Natural 20.
Natural 20, okay, so you both saved despite the stench. Vespera, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I am going to look over my spell list and I'm going to bring down a moonbeam on them
A
both.
moonbeam. Okay, cool. You won't be able to get both of them because they're not next to each other. They're
Oh,
sort of 30 feet
oh,
apart.
you know what? I've got a produce flame in my hand.
All
Here
right.
you are. Catch.
Catch, produce flame. All right,
Yeah.
roll to hit.
All right. That will be. Gotta find it now. Produce flame. So 13.
13. 13 does not hit, unfortunately.
Oof.
Do you have any
Okay.
other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, or dialogue?
I think I'll move back.
Okay, Ferelt, your turn. I
Okay,
lied.
so
I lied.
these two.
It's
Oh,
not your turn. I'm so sorry. The first creature leaps out of the gorge and attacks Vespera with its tail, striking for a 20 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that would
It
definitely hit.
does 6 points of piercing damage, plus, and you're going to take only half of this, 5 points of necrotic damage, so you resist half
2.
of that 5 damage.
Okay,
too,
sweet.
So, all right, so 6 plus 2 is 8. All right. Now you need to make a con save for Sparrow.
Okay. Nope, fail that one.
Okay, you are poisoned until this effect ends. While poisoned in this way, you sport festering boils, you cough up flies, you shed rotting skin, and you must repeat the saving throw after every 24 hours that elapse.
Okay, okay.
On a successful save, the disease ends. On a failed save, the target's hit points are reduced by a d8. The target dies if the hit point maximum is reduced to 0.
Right, okay, okay.
Okay, so
Yep.
presently poisoned, poison condition, that is to say at disadvantage for most things. All right, Feralt, it is your turn.
So one of these creatures is still standing on the edge of the chasm.
Yeah, by where Vespera is.
Okay, so I'm going to run up to it, and I'm going to cast a spell,
Mhm.
and it can make a Constitution save, DC 14.
Okay, con save, DC, well, I rolled a 6, so it fails.
Okay. He takes 2d8 thunder damage and gets pushed off the edge of the chasm.
Yeah.
Alright, how far
Let's
is it?
go.
How far
I
back
think it was
does
like,
push
I
it?
think we said like, at least 30 feet down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So he takes 12 points of thunder damage and whatever falling damage.
Right, so we'll say...
I'm so happy that worked.
Oh,
Just
you would have loved
yeet.
Isaac's character.
Alright, Feralt.
Would have been great.
Cool. Alright, so is that the end of your turn, Feralt?
Yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm like not within 5 feet of the edge, but otherwise, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you just pull back a bit. The second
Yeah.
creature, let's just, for the sake of argument, call it a Bulezau.
Yep.
Leaps over the side to attack Vespera, again with its tail.
Man, they really like her, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it's targeted.
6 to hit does not hit.
No.
Vespera, it's your turn.
I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
All right. It's action, yeah?
Most likely. It's restoration.
Yeah, that'd be an action.
It's almost definitely an
yeah,
action.
yeah. And I'm going to get some cover. It seems like it is targeted, so yeah,
right,
fuck
so
that.
You're moving to like full cover, half cover.
Full cover would be good.
Are you going to teleport?
I don't have Theo out.
Isn't it a bonus action to get Theo out?
No, it's an action.
Oh, it's an action. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
bonus action to do everything else.
So you're moving to cover.
Yeah.
As you are moving to cover, that means you are leaving its space. It gets an opportunity attack. 13 isn't going to hit you.
Nope.
Now it gets an actual attack.
Okay, I remember I'm still
8 does not
reasonably close to it.
That's true. 8 does not hit you either.
Not even close.
Feralt.
Okay. Right. So, how close is this thing to the edge?
Okay, so one of them has leapt up. It's within. This one is now within 5 feet of the edge. Yes.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna try that again. I'm gonna position myself around it so that it's it's between me and the edge, and it can make a con save.
All right. Fail. 10.
Okay, so let's see. That is 6 points of thunder damage plus whatever falling damage as it gets yeeted off the edge. And so it gets pushed back 10 feet. So it's like,
So funny.
it's not just going straight down, it's going down on an angle as well.
Yes. Okay. So it's taken quite a lot of damage from falling, as the other one. Although the other one, the original one, looks a bit worse. To
Yeah.
be fair, worse for wear.
Okay.
Now that you've thrown it down into the hole,
I'm going to use my move. I'm not going to be trying to pull that again because they'll be expecting it at this point. So I'm going to pull back to by where Vespera is.
all right. So you move to where Vespera is. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
positioning myself like between her and the gorge.
All right. Well, the one that's in the gorge is going to be using its actions, etc., to climb out. Vespera, you've just cast Lesser Restoration, so the boils and the flies that you've been coughing up for the last minute are beginning to dissipate. So that's pretty disgusting, coughing up flies.
Yeah, I'm glad I had 6 seconds.
You burp up your last fly, and it buzzes off, and it's your turn.
Excellent. I'm going to. I'm gonna fling a produce flame again.
Produce
I think
flame. Okay, cool. This is at obviously the one visible creature.
Yes. Yes,
All right.
yes, where are you? Produce flame.
17.
17
hits.
23 in total.
23 hits.
That would be 12 points of fire damage.
12 points of fire damage.
You can eat all of it.
And it's magic special fire damage that doesn't take resistance shit. It's just like, fuck you resistance, I'm going through.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Right, okay. So it's
Yep.
fuck off fire damage. All right. Is that the rest of your turn? You got anything else?
Nope, that'll be it. Thank you.
So the creature is going to try and attack Vespera again. It's decided that you're quite a squishy target, relatively speaking. 23 to hit.
So it's gotten past me to her.
Yeah, it uses its movement. It can jump 20 feet from a standing.
Okay, so it's just kind of like sailed over our heads.
Yeah, it just leaps
Okay,
behind
okay.
you.
What's the damage?
Striking you for. Oh, I rolled maximum damage, 14 piercing damage.
Okay.
Plus 4 necrotic damage, which you have.
2. Okay, sweet.
Now it is Feralt's turn. Oh, both of you make a con save.
Okay.
Okay, so I got an 11, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my reaction, Arcane Deflection, to increase that to 15.
15 saves.
And now I can't use leveled spells until the end of my next turn.
Okay, Vespera, what did you get?
Okay.
3?
Yeah, I failed that one.
You failed. Okay, so you are taking... what did I say? Yes. Oh, just 1 point of necrotic damage this turn, because I rolled a 3.
Okay, is it rounded down?
Yeah, I rounded it down.
Oh, okay. You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Feralt, have you finished your turn? You haven't started your
I
turn.
move. You just had Vespera. I haven't had a chance to do anything since we moved back from the edge.
All right, so that was Vespera. That was the creature attacked Vespera.
Okay.
Then I did the rotting presence thing, which I was supposed to do
Yeah.
on each of your turns, but I did it on the
Yeah.
creature's turn because it's just fucking easier.
Okay. Yep.
And now it's your turn, Feralt.
Okay, the creature that's so basically I'm going to move around so that Vespera is not between me and the creature.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to have it make a wisdom save.
All right.
DC 14.
Okay. And it's a fail.
Okay. Bong.
Give us your Toll the Dead damage. 2d12, is
It's
it?
so
Yeah,
funny.
that is 9 points of necrotic damage.
9 points of necrotic damage. Okay, cool. Any other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, dialogue?
No, that's me.
Okay. The second creature leaps now out of the pit, having missed at least one turn, maybe 2 turns, I think. As it lands next to Feralt, it strikes with its barbed tail for a 13, failing to hit. Its tail strikes the ground next to you.
What's Drazan doing during this?
Oh, well, Drazan, that's a great question. Probably should fire a crossbow.
He's got 2 crossbows now, so he can he could take it.
That's true.
So,
he could fire main crossbow, then second crossbow, then reload.
Oh, he missed one.
Yep.
Yeah. He missed it.
So he missed with the crossbow?
Yeah.
Okay. Vesper, it's your actual turn.
Okay, primal savagery. I get out my claws and I go to attack him with the claws. That would be 17.
17 hits.
Excellent. And that will be 12 points of acid.
Okay, you kill the first Belazar. Rip it apart. And it's
Good.
burns away with its acid damage. Yuck. Is that the end of your turn? Have you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind Feralt.
Okay, so you move behind Feralt. You don't move behind the creature and give him advantage. So, okay.
I'm not attacking in melee anyway, so.
Right. Okay. So you move.
But she could give herself advantage.
I'll do that on my next turn.
Okay. As long as you are in melee range, Feralt.
Yeah, I'm in melee range. Yes.
Okay. So you just move behind Feralt to make him tank for a moment.
Yep.
Feralt, it's your turn.
Okay. And you know what's coming next.
Bong.
Bong.
You also will need to make rotting present saves, both of you again.
Yes. Yes, the old rotting presents.
Okay, I got a 14. I'm going to use Arcane Deflection again to bump that to 18.
11.
Yep, that saves. So 11 does not save. So Vespera takes 4 points unmodified necrotic damage.
Okay.
Now I'm making a wisdom save.
Yes, wisdom save DC 14.
Okay, and it's a fail with a 9.
I'm getting good mileage out of this today. Ooh, 17 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, okay, again, bang, the bell goes off and the creature's horns are smashed to smithereens, its nails fall out, its teeth are coming out, its eyes are bleeding, it staggers forward a few steps. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'm just glaring at it, and that's my turn.
Alright, and the last thing it does now is strikes at you with its barbed tail for a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Alright. It does 8 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
It does 5 points of necrotic damage, and you need to make a con save.
Okay, so hang on, that's just putting the damage, 13. And
a 9 fails.
Yeah, even with Arcane Deflection, that's only a 13. Right. Okay, yep.
So now you are suffering the poison condition, so disadvantage for pretty much everything.
Yep.
You now begin to burst out in festering boils, and you begin to cough up flies, so your skin begins to rot off your body, and so forth. That's the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Oh, that's right, because I just attacked you. That was the end of his turn.
Oh, that's the end of his turn, yes.
It's Vespera's turn. Vespera, you made the rotting presence check already. Cool. So
yes.
It's your turn. Go for your life. What do you want to
do? Okay, so can I tell Feralt's looking peaky?
Drazan can fire a light crossbow if he wants.
Okay, sweet. I'll do that. Lamb. He got an 18?
18 actually
22.
that hits.
And what's the damage for that?
It's 1d6 plus his dex.
Okay.
So he gets like a +1 modifier off that.
Okay, so 4.
Okay, 4 points of damage.
It's damage.
Drazan shoots it right in the forehead, killing it. It had 3 hit points. He did 4 points of damage. So he sort of sits forward like, with the light crossbow at the end of the fire. After all this fireballs and tolling the dead and all of this slashing and fighting. And then he just leans forward and goes, plink. And this one shot hits it right in the forehead, killing the Bilazao, which collapses and, as always, begins to melt, bubble away, and fumes are pouring off it. You, however, Feralt, are feeling terrible.
Yeah.
You are
Well, it is my
diseased,
turn,
sick.
so lesser restoration.
All right, so you pray to Lythander and cast Lesser Restoration upon Feralt, and he is.
Well, it's actually a druid spell, so.
It's a druid spell. Oh.
So I get it from nature, not from Lythander.
It's also a cleric spell.
Yeah.
So cool. In any case, he is back to his usual self, and the 3 of you have survived the ordeals of. Yes.
I'm going to sit. I'm going to take a seat. I'm going to create some good berry and just start eating them. And I hand some to Feralt too, so we can get the full. So what am I going to need? I'm going to need to, to use 2 spells with, probably. Like, how damaged are you?
I'm down about 13 HP.
Okay, sweet.
So, like, optimally 3 good berries for me.
Okay. And I'm going to start thinking about raiding someone.
Okay.
You do that.
It is the time of the evening at which we raid.
Good Betty.
Who shall we raid?
So it would be 7. Okay, done. What's with the targeted attacks, Ross? What the hell, man?
Targeted attacks. Well,
I know there was only 2 people. It's like
only 2 of you, and you did look squishier. Like your character looks squishy.
I mean, we're both in
Good luck
medium
with
armor.
that.
It's just mine is metal and hers isn't.
Exactly.
Oh, do you like my new spells? Putting
They are
aside
good.
Shillelagh for Primal Savagery. It made so much more sense. Primal Savagery grows with levels, whereas Shillelagh does not.
Yeah, that's kind of sucky that Shillelagh doesn't grow with levels.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Shillelagh's 1 attack,
All right, well, we're going to hit up some
I don't know.
dude called Dice Actors and see how that goes. So we're going to get this raid on the road.
Okay, see you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Okay.
Please come back.
I'm so glad I didn't die.
Please.
I wouldn't have died.
I'm glad I didn't die too.
If you have time to like and subscribe, it goes a long way. Anyway, we're going to raid people now. So see you all later.
Goodbye.
Have a good one.